can kick right into things. So, last we left off, our party of adventurers had found themselves in a bit of a sticky situation as they were confronted by the Crimson Five, a rogue group of individuals who had taken up arms against the nearby city of Yartar, this thriving river city that was once the premier city of the Savage Frontier. Uh, Within the central market known as the Fish Yard, you discovered a small shop with a big secret. Underneath the facade of Nordis General Wares lies a secret tunnel that extends deep under Yartar. Down the stone steps you traveled to find a small tavern known as Beldabar's Rest. There you met with the owner, who gave you a layout of the Water Baron's Hall, the elaborate fortress of one Belathine Keldorna, the current Water Baron of Yartar. You took some time to decide amongst yourselves a plan of action, then spent the remainder of the evening gathering up what you think you'll need to complete the mission. You all headed back to Beldabar's Rest for the evening. Some of you having imbibed quite a few drinks, others carrying delicious foods with you. And that is kind of where we pick up as you guys have now entered back into the establishment of Beldabar's Rest, and you're just kind of generally conversing amongst yourselves. Norda had, for the evening, slammed shut the very well concealed passageway that led underneath. Um, is there anything you guys wanted to do before the night was out?
I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my steak.
Absolutely. You probably find Eva in the bed where you left her. I don't know if she's passed out or stayed up.
Oh, she'd be sleeping.
Oh, so you find her asleep, curled up into a ball.
Well, luckily magic makes for good leftovers. So I'll save her steak somewhere, I think.
Sure.
I think Perry will be done for the night.
Okay. Well, you eventually manage to, secure what small rooms that they do have available for the group of you, and without issue, you can rest up for the evening. And as you all kind of stir the following morning, you kind of gather into a small group around yourselves, around one of the longer tables there within the central part of the tavern. You can see that there isn't like any food or anything being prepped, but you see that there are other few individuals that are up, fully dressed, just conversing amongst themselves. They kind of look in your direction but don't say anything. You don't see Beldabar at the moment. Um, but what do you guys wish to do?
Alice, did you bring me that steak?
Oh, yeah, it's a little cold, but I'm sure one of our, magic friends can heat it up real quick.
She's just gonna take it and cast press on it and like start just with her two hands, like no fork and knife, just start eating it like it's a giant pancake or something.
Also, I bought an entire roll of black linen. So if you guys want to, cut off a big strip and wrap yourselves for future endeavors. I know me personally, I've got an entirely white suit, so maybe I bought this for just me, but
Are we talking like 50 square yards of out of cloth?
yeah, man, I bought an entire roll. Like when you go to like Joann's and you get like you cut off a little piece, I bought the entire thing.
Just in case, huh?
Oh yeah, you never know how much you might need.
Are you gonna use it as your new club?
As my new what?
Your new club. Are you gonna hit people with it?
No, it's made of cloth. I think it'd be kind of boring to hit people with cardboard and cloth.
So you're telling me you couldn't kill somebody with a bundle of linen?
I can kill someone with my bare hands. That's Guys, you're missing the point. I was trying to be smart, okay? I got us some stuff to help us hide.
Do you know how to make clothes?
I rip myself off a piece and start measuring it to my body.
Fairly easy enough to do. You watch Ellis just kind of rip a long piece of this fabric and just kind of throw it over him like one of those, just like a shawl or some kind of wrap.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good.
Anyways, if you'd like any, you just let me know. Otherwise, throw it in the bag for a rainy day. I spent a gold on it, so
Yeah, that thing's not gonna fit in there. I assume it's longer than like 4 feet, right?
Yes, it's about a 6-foot roll in length. It is
oh, it'll
a,
fit in there widthwise, right?
yeah, like width-wise,
Isn't the bag of holding a 4x4x4?
I believe so. Let me check.
Also, it's full of other stuff. So like,
Yep, can only fit about 4 feet. You can remove the fabric from the roll and bundle it up in a way that it'll fit into the bag, if you so choose. You can see that the black, you know, cotton-like material that's been stitched and rolled up on this actually is rolled around what appears to be this long, thin piece of like metal, like a rod. So if you discard the rod, you can easily wrap it up and toss it in the bag if you have the space.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. If our goal is to sneak in, it would be good to be less conspicuous.
we can leave some curtains on the way out.
So we're just being like floating rags, or how is less conspicuous?
Well, this was just me taking a precaution so that I wouldn't be sneaking around in a dim white, but white suit. Um,
Perry, do you think you could use it to quiet your armor a bit, since you're a little clinkily?
I usually use fur for that.
Do you have some fur?
No, I don't have just barrels of or bundles of fur laying around.
We do have bundles of cloth.
I don't know. I feel like there's somebody you could ask for that.
look,
DM,
anyway,
could you
not
use
not
cloth?
majorly important.
Like, can you somehow attach cloth to like the bottoms of your boots to make it quieter?
Sure.
Or just roll an intelligence check for me.
I really should not have dumb stat intelligence.
Um, I mean, you understand what makes metal kind of clinking and make sound. And you know typically that you place leather padding underneath it to prevent things like chafing or, you know, overheating while wearing the material so that it kind of moves freely. Um, you can certainly stuff bits of fabric into your armor, but you know that it will probably hinder mobility quite a bit, if anything be a detriment.
Yeah, cloth is not working.
Okay, sounds good. I guess we. Do we have any ideas for mitigating your clickling? We're on a stealth mission, you know.
Just take it off. Go armorless. If it's that important.
I mean, I don't know if it's important. It's just, you know, we're trying to be stealthy.
I don't 100% remember the plan. Are we all doing this? I thought it was just like a few of us we were gonna go on.
I'm not sure we ever decided how many we're going. I don't know.
I remember some talks of invisibility, and like I would use clairvoyance to like help make sure there's no guards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember if we settled on a plan. I can invisible all of 2 people, but not more than that.
And if I'm willing to use my concentration, I have a scroll that allegedly will let me make 2 more people invisible. That's what I was told. So that's 4 out of how many? There's 5 of us now.
Yeah, if I have do clairvoyance, and then I can just see from the outside, and I don't know, somebody can send a message, or do we have sending stone?
I'm pretty sure we actually do have sending stones, but I don't think the party knows that.
Oh, right.
There's just some rocks in the bag of holding I've never identified, but you know, I don't know how we fix that problem, but
Seems a bit apropos of nothing to ask you to look at those rocks.
exactly.
I mean,
I
during your
could-
downtime stuff, while you're just kind of sitting there talking, you could be going through your equipment and be like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" It's not out of the ordinary.
Great, we have 2 sending stones.
They have been identified, or are we just holding on to rocks?
You identified, I'm sure.
All right, that'll help.
Let me see here. I can. Here you go.
Carved stones.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, wasn't our plan pretty straightforward?
Sneak up to the building, I guess. Use my Misty Step life hack to teleport some people through.
Weren't we doing it so we climb into the bag and then
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah.
poof through?
But I don't know how many people we can fit in there.
Are we all going to go? If we're trying to sneak, it seems like it might be better to have a smaller number. I don't know. Maybe we decided this. I don't remember.
Well, we could. Well, I guess it would just be. I mean, Perry's gonna stay behind and do like the Overwatch kind of thing with sending stone and clairvoyance, I guess. If that's even possible. Is he allowed to cast clairvoyance into that building if he's never been in there?
I've seen the outprint of it, so you can, as long as you have an idea.
It's gonna be probably an Arcana check. You guys have an idea of the layout, which allows you to do it, but it'll be a skill check to successfully do it.
Oh, great.
But you guys have been given a lot of information, so visually you can kind of have a mental image of what you're looking for, which helps you a lot.
What
Cool.
if you what if you just sent your bird in there first?
I mean, I don't know if there's gonna be an. Like, to do what? Just to check it out? Take a look around?
I mean, that's what you guys are talking about, right? Using magic to look inside?
I guess, but
Yeah.
the bird
And then
is kind
on-
of conspicuous, right?
Can you change what it is?
I mean, I could spend an hour to make it like a rat or something, but you know,
A big old spider.
maybe I don't remember. Probably. Cat, frog, crab, lizard, octopus, owl, snake, fish, rat, raven, seahorse, spider. Yeah, so it could be a spider.
Spider's pretty conspicuous.
I think we're aiming for inconspicuous, right?
Sure, whatever the word is.
He said intelligence was his dump stat.
Yep. There you go.
It's not mine, so. Anyway, yeah, we could do that, but I don't know if we'd be able to get it inside. They seem pretty paranoid. Lots of. I assume the doors stay closed and the windows aren't open, but I don't know. Could work.
Maybe, yeah. A hole in the wall somewhere.
I mean, it means I'd have to prep it in the morning, so. That means I have to unprep something else that could be helpful. But could make it work, I guess.
Wait, am I mistaken, or have you not poofed it you couldn't reach?
I feel like that's unclear if you can poof through a wall or a door or a window.
You have to be able to see where you're poofing him to.
So I could just sneak up to the window, poof it through the window.
If you can see through the window,
Gotcha.
I believe that should work.
Yeah, I guess.
As long as you
that's a
can
good
see
point,
where
Alan.
you're appearing, or you're making it appear.
Gotcha.
Also has a range of 10 feet, so.
Well, that's the poofing. It can walk farther.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean, we could do that, but I don't know.
Are we gonna like.
Well, I feel
Or-
like there's a bunch of I don't knows, so prepare all your shit and then let's just go do it.
Are we gonna poison her soup or wait till she's asleep or. What was the plan?
I'm pretty sure you're gonna silence her and I'm gonna feed it to her, right?
I can't silence if we're invisible.
Well, depends who's making you invisible, because my spell is greater invisibility.
Well, once we're in the room, it doesn't matter, right?
Well, we have to get back out, right?
Yeah, I can only do invisibility once.
I feel like getting out is going to be less hard once we sneak in. We sneak in, we learn the layout, we know how to get around the block per se. Getting in's gonna be the hardest part. Getting out will be a little bit easier.
I mean, how many people could we get in the bag? Probably 2 if we emptied it out before we went.
Depends on how much they weigh.
I'm light.
Yeah. I mean, everybody in the party's pretty small. We don't have the Dragonborn anymore, so. Might have to go light on the equipment, though.
I could always use I could look inside or try and look inside ahead of time. If we want to scout the layout.
I mean, we kind of know what it looks like, right? We have the map. Or we've seen the map.
Yeah, but we can get to where the guards are and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We definitely need to do that, I think. Whether it's with clairvoyance or my spider, I guess. is
What
it
if-
gonna be?
And maybe this is funky, I don't know if 2 people can do this, but what if we have one person who makes a person invisible, and another one who makes someone fly, and then we do like a few minutes of reconnaissance, fly around, see if there's any windows that we can actually see through. I mean, we're not planning on attacking till tonight, right? We got at least 14 hours until daybreak, or whatever it's called. Strike, attack, Guys, we should name this mission. What are we naming it?
Operation Yartar Freedom? I don't know.
It's worth going to look. They've also got to have guards, right? Like, I could do this, and then I'm just going to assert she's sitting next to Thalum. She'll lean back in her chair and use disguise self to make herself look exactly like Thalum, except her hair is like neon pink.
With a flash and a flourish, you see Eva's form change from her typical appearance, and you've seen her change forms before, but it's a little off-putting to see a bright pink-haired Talum sitting next to you.
Yeah, and Thalum can do it too, right? He was Sir Jalum that once.
Yeah, I could.
Okay, I'm tired of you guys. Instead of saying you could, say you can. Just fucking do it, and let's go.
Well, I have to go to sleep first. You know.
What do you mean?
I
Haven't we already
memorized
gone
this
to sleep?
This
Well,
is the morning after, so you guys could have talked about this last night.
Okay, sure. I mean, if that's the plan, I could prep the right spell, but
Let's do it.
so okay,
Do it live.
okay. So I'm prepping disguise self for whatever
And
shenanigans.
and
this is gonna
invisibility.
say.
And fly. Do not forget to make me fly.
Well, while this is going on, Ava's going to use press to do like minor, stupid, magical stuff to items on the table. Like she's gonna make one of the bread rolls float a little bit, and she's gonna like make one of them smell like cabbage, but with like wide, exaggerated wizardly motions.
And it eventually garners the attention of a couple of the other adventuring individuals who are there within the hall with you. They don't say anything at it, but you do hear a couple scoffs in your direction. You see one pair of humans who are just kind of like muttering something under their breath while they seem to be eating some sort of like oatmeal or something.
She'll say, "I am the marvelous Thalum."
Oh, I guess I can unprep that. Okay, I've prepped disguise self, fly, invisibility. Oh, you know what would be an interesting spell to prep? Do we want to prep immovable object? We can bar the door or something.
It's not a terrible idea if you guys end up getting caught.
Seems handy.
Yeah, I'll unprep something else.
As far as I know, due to the fact that we're supposed to make this look like a heart attack, we get in unseen, unscathed, and we get out.
That's such an optimistic view on what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So do I need to empty the bag of holding, or are people still getting in there?
Yeah,
I think
do
you're
it.
giving us a ride.
Okay. I mean, I can't move everybody that way. So.
Well, I'm not
If you-
coming in.
You guys know if we don't have to fly. I meant fly as far as reconnaissance goes, but you make me invisible, I can climb the side of the building.
Yeah.
Do you have to be in a rage to do that?
I do not.
Cool.
I can just climb walls like Spider-Man.
Wait, I don't know if I'm supposed to know this spell. How did I even get this spell?
Which one?
Immovable object.
I don't know how you got it.
Well, it's on my character sheet. Was it on Rashal's list?
I have to check.
'Cause the first line literally says, "You probably shouldn't know this spell."
That's the first line of the spell.
It says
Oh.
this spell requires the dungeon master's consent and is typically reserved for chronometry wizards. How did it end up on my character sheet?
Let me take a look.
It's not on Rashal's. I just checked.
Oh, there you go. So how'd you do it?
I don't know. It's also at the bottom. Maybe it got dragged in on accident.
Possible.
Well, I guess I'll remove it because I don't remember how I learned it. So
Oh, you can't remove it. It's immovable.
oh god.
Sorry.
Was that a third level or was it a?
No, it's a second level spell.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know how you got it.
I mean, it seems like a dope spell, but I don't think I should know it right now. I'll remove it for now.
Maybe it just shows up on your
No.
list as you level up.
No.
And I apologize. I've been saying stuff and I didn't realize that for some odd reason my
Was
my
wondering why you were
microphone
quiet.
was not working.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it wasn't that I was muted. I kept unmuting myself, but it wasn't picking up the mic.
Do you have anything to add to the current plan, Tizio?
I can do some of those things that you guys have mentioned, like disguise self and invisibility as well. So those are extra ones that we have.
Talon, do you have another flask?
I do.
All right, I have an idea for just in case. So I'm gonna take this flask, and then I'm gonna cast Glyph of Warding on it.
You know you can't move that, right?
What do you mean you can't move it?
Glyphs of warding can't be moved more than like 2 feet from where you cast them.
Yep.
What? Where does it say that? It's such a
That's
long
why you have to
description.
cast it. That's why you have to cast it inside the bag and then pull it out.
That's some shenanigans.
Yep. Let's see.
Have
It
you seen the
says
videos
if
of like
the-
the people who
If
who
the
move?
surface or
like
the object
1,000
is
feet
moved
in
more
one
than 10
round?
feet from where you cast a spell, the glyph is broken.
It's kind of lame.
Well, it's supposed to be meant for a trap.
Or, you
Yeah.
know, if you're in your house and you're getting attacked, you knock over the light stand and now you have 6 spells cast on you.
Or you're a Tabaxi monk trying to move 1,000 feet in one turn, and you put haste in a book in a bag and you pull it out mid-turn.
Turn into a whale.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was hoping to do like it'd be cool to have like a book where you just have the glyph in there and you just be like, hey, read this glyph. Well, let me leave the room quick.
Yeah.
Hey, look! Oh, what nice poetry! Fireball.
Also need 200 diamond dust.
Well, that's fine.
No, it's gold. No, it's diamond. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I read the wrong spell. So, the plan is
To either be disguised, or be invisible, or fly, or some combination.
wait. So I'm prepping spells for 3 plans. That's fun. Okay.
Well, I would say we probably shouldn't disguise and be invisible. That doesn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Well, if you have disguise while you're in there, and you need to, I mean, being invisible only gets you so far.
Yeah, we also don't know what kind of like traps and stuff like that they may have in there. Perhaps they have some sort of like dispel magic or something.
Let's go case the joint.
Okay. I mean, we could use clairvoyance from a mile away. We could probably just like do it from here.
All right, are we a mile away?
No, you're under that, definitely.
Okay.
You guys are where the token is, and Waterbaron's Hall's right there, so not super far.
We're 13,
13 feet.
13 feet, absolutely. Less than a mile.
What is
Well-
this? A city for ants?
Hey, look, if that says 13 feet, just imagine what the real scale of this city is, huh?
Right. Well, Perry will give it a try.
Okay. Do you have the components to do it?
No, we haven't
Didn't-
picked those up yet.
Oh, we gotta pick him up. Man. Let's go pick
So
him
before
up
we,
then.
yeah, I was gonna say before we make our plan that relies on this, maybe we should go check that out.
She told me they would be ready this morning.
Okay. So you gather up your things, you eat what semblance of a breakfast you guys can muster amongst yourselves, whether it be leftover steak or what have you. You push your way along the stone passageway that leads up to the narrow stone stairs, and you do the familiar rap on the top of the stone slate that is housing the actual trapdoor. There's a few moments of silence before the door, or the trapdoor itself, begins to shift and slide open with a low grinding sound. And there above you can see Norda is standing there just kind of peering down to the group of you and says, "Ah, good morning to you."
Good morning.
And she kind of like moves us to the side so you guys can make your way out into the familiar yellow flapped tent. Within short time, you guys can reseal the door, put everything back in place, and you watch as Norda reopens the entrance flap, and you can see that it's a bustling city morning with various vendors already out trying to sell fresh fruits and meats that were caught, fresh fish. You can hear just distinct chatter amongst passerby and a few horse-drawn carriages that are just traversing through the central marketplace, either heading east or west. You guys are heading to pick up your stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so you head westward, just along the main pathway, just kind of traversing through the city until you get back to the familiar Lion Shed Coster. There you can see that Lene is already in the process of shop's already open. She's just in the process of talking to a few customers. They're there. You see one of them purchases what appears to be like make a perception check. Yes, I imagined you would have. You see that these two individuals appear to be Shields of Yartar. They are just wearing the simple steel-plated chest plate, and you can see that they're wearing like leather trousers, and then they have gauntlets and various accoutrements on them, and both of them are draped with these long capes that kind of strap onto the shoulder plates and dangle down to the back, and you can see a familiar symbol of a woman, what appears to be on a coin, and you immediately recognize that as Tamora, the goddess of luck. And you watch as Lene hands over what appears to be a very beautifully crafted looking longsword, just and thanks them for the patronage, and you watch as they kind of turn and then see the group of you entering into the shop, and they stop and stare for a moment. But they don't say anything, and they just continue to push past you, head out the door. You see, once the door closes, Leanne kind of looks at the group of you. She goes, "Oh, well, good morning. Back bright and early, I see."
Indeed.
Well, it wasn't the easiest process to procure these items at the last minute, but I do have a couple things for you. And you watch as she kind of reaches down under the counter and pulls out what appears to be two objects, and she places them on the counter, and they're wrapped in this like thin leather cloth material. And as she begins to untie the knot that binds it together and lays it out, you can see that the first one has um, a very beautifully crafted, like, glass bauble. And as she kind of holds it up in her hand, you can almost see through it to the other side, almost like a magnifying glass, just because of the quality of it. And as she kind of like turns it and rotates it towards you, you can see that the center of this glass bauble has a very well designed looking eye within the center. And then she kind of sets it down on the counter. She starts to unfold the other one, and you can see the familiar war horn that she had produced yesterday. However, this time it is lined from stem to stern with what you were imagining at first were the same size gems that you had handed to her last night. However, they have all been cut down into this very small, different sizes and shapes, and they have been embedded and encrusted along the horn. It looks beautiful. And she kind of slides them out in front of you and she says, "Well, I hope you're proud of that. I've been up all night taking care of this."
They look great.
Ah, well, I should hope so. I owe Darth Hag a favor. Having her restart the kiln last night was a bit troublesome, but nevertheless she did it.
Well, I believe I paid you half before, so here's no.
I didn't. You paid her how much before? Because I don't recall here when I watched the video yesterday.
I
I
paid her
don't-
half, I believe.
Mm,
We had this whole thing. I said I'll give you half. She said people don't usually do that. I said, well, I'm establishing a good reputation.
okay.
I distinctly remember it,
So
but it doesn't really matter. I can pay another.
no, it's fine. I'll double check. So for the cost of both of these objects in total, she upcharges you a little bit. She says that it'll cost you 450 gold to complete the work.
That's like more than double. They're both supposed to be worth 100 gold.
Right. The horn itself has been encrusted with 100 gold piece of material, and then she's still charging you for the work it took to do it.
We can
She's
go
charging
halves.
300 gold in labor.
You also
Yeah,
asked for it.
D&D material component cost doesn't account for labor.
Yeah, I mean, okay, whatever. Okay, sure.
To be fair, we only need one of those things.
No, we need both of them.
It says or. Well, it says or.
Yeah, one's for seeing, one's for hearing.
We only need to see, right?
Yep, but I'm buying both of them.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well,
Okay, so
we can split it if you want.
I'll give her. You said 450.
For the total works, I've been up all night crafting this. I had to cut each of the gems you gave me down, reshape them, embed them into the horn. It was by no means an easy process. And like I said, Darth Hagel had already left her shop for the evening, so I had to get her to restart the kiln and create this to the best of her ability, just on the spur of the moment. I do hope you understand, Steve.
Sure.
Can I I'm gonna just grab something out of my bag and put a little cologne on me and cast guidance. And I'm just gonna kind of like butt in and be like, it really, like, ma'am, is I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Linne.
I mean, I apologize. I got lost in your eyes. Is there really anything you can do with the price on this for my buddy here? It's first time shopper. Let's maybe build a little good rep with him.
I put all the money on the counter.
I mean, at that point, she stops looking at you, and she goes, "Well, you can do what your friend did," and she starts to scoop the coin up. I appreciate your understanding, and if you'd have given me a little more advance notice than less than 24 hours, I could have been a little more reasonable on the price, so I appreciate your dedication to it, and, as you said, building quite the reputation for yourself.
It's all good.
So, you definitely have a 100 gold piece horn and a beautifully blown glass eye. She kind of looks over to you and she says, I spoke around last night for your gilded flower. I was not able to find a jewel crafter within Yartar who could gild such a flower in a single night, or for that matter, anyone who's ever really attempted it before. Um, a colleague of mine did mention that there was an old elven man who lives to the east somewhere within the high forest with that kind of skill set. Uh, from what I was told, they were a once renowned crafter, made several high quality works, but abruptly removed himself from the world maybe 20 or so years ago. I mean, I'm sure if you can track him down, maybe he can produce such a quality work that you were requesting.
Sounds good, thanks.
Alright, well, sorry about that. Is there anything else I can help you all with?
Did you want to test them out?
I feel like we should probably do that somewhere else.
Okay.
As we're leaving, Ava's going to sidle up next to Tidyu and say, "You know, I think she really liked you."
Oh, yeah, totally. She totally wanted me, dude. Could have saved Talon some money.
So as you all kind of gather up your new items and you head out the shop, Linne gives you guys a wave of farewell, and you find yourselves back into the city proper. Where do you guys wish to do?
Did we want to find like an alley to do this in?
Sure.
Or did we want to go back to a room? Doesn't matter.
It's a whole thing going in and out of there. We should probably.
Alright, yeah. Guess we'll just dip behind the nearest alley, or in the nearest alley.
Okay. Just make a general perception check. Try to find a place that's kind of off the beaten path and doesn't have a lot of passerby.
Get some.
Nice.
Can Ellis help me? Oh, never mind. I know Ellis is like good with towns or something like that. So
Um, you kind of wander back through the fish yard and just kind of skirt around the edges, and you can see that not too far off, there appears to be a larger cluster of houses that, while the sun is still rising up this early in the morning, it does give a good overcast of shadow that you feel would obscure any prying eyes for at least the time being. And you kind of lead the group over that way, and you can see that it's just currently unoccupied and small enough for the lot of you to fit in comfortably and just kind of lean up and converse amongst yourselves. No one seems to be paying you mind.
Guess Perry will start casting clairvoyance.
Okay.
Do you want to have Ava give you some encouragement?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some help.
Hey, you can do it, buddy. Sorry, I'm still
Yeah.
hungover.
I'm gonna give him a pat on the back as well for guidance. You got this, buddy.
It's
Okay.
gonna be tough. Never seen before.
So the casting time of this is 10 minutes, so I imagine you guys are doing this right before he's done.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ava will sing like a little made-up ditty while he's casting about how good he is at looking at other people's houses.
All right. um, about 10 or so minutes go by, and you can see that. Well, Perry, how do you set up yourself for this length of a casting time? Is there anything in particular you would do to prep or prepare?
Um, he might like set down some metal on the ground, get it like down on his feet and knees, kind of like sitting on his heels, kind of. Maybe light like a small fire to heat up the metal. Sure, I don't know. Draw some circles
Okay.
around the horn and the eye.
Okay. So for this cast, which one of the two are you using? 'Cause I don't think you can swap in between the two, right?
I'll just use the eye so I can see.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
can use.
When you
You can.
cast a
You can.
spell, you can use the chosen sense. You have to choose you're seeing or hearing. Oh, as an
action,
action.
you can switch.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Perfect.
So yeah, I'll just have them both like sitting there, I guess, and I can switch as needed.
Perfect. Okay. So as you sit there and pray to Morden, and you can feel this small little bonfire that you've made, not very big, just a small little flame going. And as you feel the heat kind of washing over your face, and you close your eyes and you focus, and you think about the layout of the Water Baron's house. Now, where are you trying to scry on, basically?
Let me pull up the map. So we still have that, right? In
I
our notes.
didn't. I showed you a physical map.
I was
Um,
I thought you gave us like a mental.
I
Didn't you say earlier it was like a mental thing we
well,
know?
it was just a blueprint. It was this place, which
Oh,
was
okay.
just the first floor. But then it also had the second and third floors kind of laid out, and Beldebar did point out to you where her bedchambers was. Although it's not super detailed because the information that they were getting was from an inside source that they don't have a name or a face to.
Well, I guess I'll just, for now, do like right in the center,
Of
or like
the
the first floor.
Okay. So as you kind of peer into the first floor of this great hall of the Water Baron's manor, what you see actually, give me 1 second, so I can reveal these things. What you see before you is a large great hall of marble floors and stone pillars. You can see that there appears to be two beautifully crafted stone stairs that kind of go up and wrap around towards what you imagine is the second floor. Within the center of this hallway, and kind of where your invisible eye starts to peer in place, you can see that there are a number of guards that are lined within the building, standing at the ready, just kind of almost in a protective fashion, just watching over the hall and its inhabitants. You can see that there are a number of other individuals that walk past ever so frequently, and within the center of or within the northern part of the chamber, what you see is an actual very long dining table of sorts, and you can see a number of individuals who are in the process of not fully dressed, some of them still wearing beautiful looking silks, and they appear to be having just woken up and they're in the process of eating some kind of meal. You can see that there is one human looking female who is currently just at the head of the table on this side.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that she is fully dressed in what appears to be some kind of full plate. Let me double check that.
Ooh.
Yep. She is fully dressed in what appears to be some kind of full plate. You can see adorned on the center of her chest a familiar symbol, just like the shields of Yartar. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Okay. Just taking a look at some of the faces of some of these individuals, just from where you are here within the hall, you can see that there appears to be a human female, just very like dark ashen skin. She's wearing what appears to be um, very mute, like tans and black colorings that's just kind of adorned. You see that there's a lot of jewelry that covers her arms and her neck. You can see that there's an elven male sitting on the opposite end from her, who is wearing what appears to be a very beautiful, like powder blue robe with these almost like star-like design pattern just kind of stretched across it. You can see that there is what appears to be like a male dragonborn of sorts, although rather lithe. He appears to be just enjoying a meal, and he doesn't seem to be interacting with the other people that are talking at the moment. And then you can also see what appears to be a light gray skinned tiefling with horns that are just kind of like sticking out slightly. Um, he appears to be wearing a mesh of like oranges and reds, and you can see that at one moment during the conversation, he kind of stands up and he makes what appears to be like some kind of toast or something, you gather. And then he sits back down. You can see that the female at the head of the table starts nodding in agreement, and conversation commences. And you also see what appears to be a very tall and handsome male who is not seated at the other end at the other head of the table. He's rather actually standing nearby. You can see that his arms are kind of like lightly crossed in front of his chest. He's wearing what appears to be um, very clean white robes, and then underneath them appears to be like some kind of chainmail or something. You can also see strapped to his side what appears to be a large mace or club of some kind.
Guess I'll be explaining that to the group as so they all understand.
Are they saying anything, Perry?
And then switch to listening.
Okay. Make another perception check.
Yes, on point today.
Okay. It's a little bit of a shock to your senses to switch from sight to sound as your vision goes completely dark, and now all you can hear are voices within the area. Um, and they echo off the chamber walls until you have to try to focus in on what they're saying, especially at the distance you are, and you kind of steady your breath and you listen, and you can hear one saying, well, trade from the east is progressing quite nicely, and we would definitely appreciate a safe passage over to the Sword Coast. We are sure that you can facilitate this, Belathine. And there's no response for a minute, and some clattering of dishes and silverware. Then you also can hear. Give me one second. A more gruff voice, who you're not entirely sure who it would be, but they kind of chime in and says, "And our wares for Marquette. I am sure that even though the travel is long, it should be well worth it to bring such new materials into the Sword Coast as well. Do not forget us." And you get the general sense that they appear to be talking about trade. They appear to be in the process of continuing negotiations. You're not entirely sure how long they've been at it or who these individuals are, unfortunately. But at one point, you do hear a female voice chime in and say, "Yes, yes, there are lots of things on my plate at the moment, and I have not forgotten any of you. I must speak with the Lord's Alliance, as we are still in the process of working out our treaties and agreements as well. But I assure you, Yartar welcomes each and every one of you and your business. Fear not, we will take care of you when we can." And at about that point, the spell would end. As you kind of pull back into your vision and you see your friends standing around you, patiently waiting.
Nope, no. Just tell them what I heard. Just sounds like a business meeting. But there was a lot of guards in there.
That's just the first floor. Do we know what floor the bedroom's on? The second or third?
The third.
I could try and look by the bedroom. There's no guarantee.
I would say looking at the bedroom and looking for exit points, or just kind of going from there to see. Like, are you able to like move around, or is it just that
No, it's a fixed
particular?
point.
Okay.
And it's probably easier in a bigger room.
Oh, I forgot. Make an Arcana check for me, because I forgot to have you do that when you tried this.
Oh, I thought you were being nice.
Nope.
Darn it.
Well, he
Uh,
does have guidance and oh, and he gets to re-roll.
Yeah,
Apparently.
I get to reroll now because I'm super
So-
lucky.
Great thing. Because then you totally heard all those things, you didn't make it up in your head.
I mean, most
So-
of what we got was there were guards. So like,
I kind of wish that he just made that up in his head, because then that meant like the DM would probably have to change everything all over again.
Yep. Yep. That's my fault for not remembering first, especially when I just said it.
There's 16 guards instead of 8. No.
I mean, we could try to look on the third floor, but I mean, I'm sure there's guards everywhere, especially when she's sleeping in that room. So probably guards outside of it.
Do we have like an image of the third floor or no?
I mean, you were shown a blueprint of like just basic squares, and a couple rooms were labeled, some were not. I mean, you have a general idea of where on the third floor her bedroom is based off the quote unquote blueprints you were shown. And the images I'm showing you are just for your visual reference. I could have just threw boxes on there, but that's fucked.
I mean, with this, we can kind of conclude that it's well guarded, and any sneaking will have to be extremely good sneaking.
Did Perry like describe the people that were there or no to us?
Yes.
Are we able to I guess like identify anyone that was in there based on like our history and stuff?
Off of the description he gave you.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, like the gray tiefling. Like
Mhm.
maybe I know the person, or perhaps somebody else knows the person. Or
Make an intelligence check, just at disadvantage, because you were going off of Perry's
No, it makes sense.
description of what he saw. I mean, to the best of your knowledge, as you kind of like put your nose to the grindstone and think about the descriptors that Perry gave. I mean, it's apart from seeing or hearing about fine clothing and jewelry, and I mean, you gather that the person standing at the head of the table that you saw Perry and must have been Belathine. Other than that, no, you guys don't recognize any of the individuals that were there. Not entirely sure who they are. Sorry.
I mean, probably just some traders. Going to the what, Sword Coast? Um, but did we want to? Are we doing this at night then?
I mean, should we do it tonight or tomorrow?
Or should we check again tomorrow to see if their patterns changed? Because obviously they're having a meeting right now, so things are a little bit different.
Well, I could always try by the room, and then if we want to try again tomorrow, or if we want to try tomorrow, so I'm rested up.
Yeah, I mean,
But also say a day when, because does that cost you a spell slot, correct?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so a day when you don't have to, you're not going in with a, or we're not going in with a one spell slot less.
That's what I'm saying. If I do it a couple, like one more time, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe I try again after it doesn't work.
And if I remember correctly, we do/don't have a time limit
I can see for 10 minutes.
to complete the mission
Oh,
or their request.
it's a soft time limit. Don't dawdle, but take
Yeah.
as much time as you need.
So obviously, the more information that we have, the better.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at the building of the Water Barons Hall, I don't know if we've walked over there, have we?
No.
no.
Maybe we should just like walk by it, see if there's any windows where we kind of estimate the bedroom to be, kind of thing.
I
Yeah,
agree.
That's what you prepared flying invisibility for, right?
Both of those spells are prepared.
should you cast it on him now just to kind of get a head start with him?
Uh,
Since we're in an alley, I guess I don't know. And the building's only 13 feet away.
I mean, somebody else has to concentrate on invisibility. I can only concentrate on or the other way around. I don't know.
Yeah, I got him. If we'll walk up and tap Ellis, and he'll go invisible.
Okay.
Hold up. I may be mistaken, but I think he has to do it first.
No, it's only if you attack or cast a spell.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
he
think
meant the
you
fly.
cast fly on someone you can't see.
It just says you
But-
touch a willing creature.
Yeah.
Oh,
if I can find you,
fair
it
enough.
should be okay.
Good catch, though.
Some spells were weird like that, where you cast
Yeah.
invisibility first, and it's like, oh fuck, my bad.
Yeah. Well, we can get closer because fly doesn't last very long. So. Well, actually, we're not that far away, are we?
I mean, you're maybe half a mile away. It takes you some time to walk up one of the main roads to kind of like. I mean, you can definitely see the size of this building from where you guys are. It stands out on top of this perched up hill around the city itself. Definitely a beacon of authority within the walls. But it's not hard to get within a walking distance of the perimeter. I mean,
Okay.
it
Yeah.
just depends on how close you guys are trying to get.
I don't know. We're not gonna get like on top of it because flying's pretty fast. But we'll get a little bit closer, and then I'll go ahead and cast fly on Ellis so he can go do his thing.
Okay. Yeah. So
Spends 9 minutes flying around, having fun.
yeah,
No, just kidding.
you,
I will
go ahead.
I will fly to the building and try and investigate for windows. Or
Okay.
perceive. That's what I'm doing. Perceiving windows.
Absolutely.
Can I do a boost as well on him before they cast invisibility?
What are you trying to do?
He'll get maybe it'll help, maybe it won't, but an extra 10 feet. Maybe he can cover more ground if anything.
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely do that. Okay. So you suddenly feel like you are a little more agile, and you kind of, and then you start to feel that familiar weightless feeling that you had previously, and you know that the fly spell has now been imbibed within you, and then you kind of look down and you see that your form begins to disappear amongst your friends, and they're kind of looking around for the general direction of you and don't see you anymore, so you know it's working. um,
At long last,
what are
my
the rest
precious has returned.
What are the rest of you doing while he's off doing this?
Looking inconspicuous.
Um,
Can I take a walk around the area, I guess, for a a human point of view, land
sure.
point of view?
Oh, you're trying to like walk around on the outskirts of the Water Baron's house?
Yeah, correct.
Wait, I thought we were trying to not be seen near it. That's why we like made him invisible and have him fly.
Oh, I thought we were just doing that just so that he wasn't, so that people wouldn't see us doing that stuff to him. Yeah, if we're trying to stay low key and everything like that, then never mind. I guess I'll just be keeping a lookout as usual.
Okay. Let me have all of you guys make stealth checks. Ellis, you make one as well with advantage.
I mean, what exactly am I stealthing?
You don't know.
Oh, okay. Invisible flying.
Mm-hmm.
I get hit by birds, maybe.
It, there are a number of ways to be able to be detected, even while you're invisible. You're not impervious to stealth, unfortunately. Um, okay. So as you guys try to just remain out of sight and just off any of the main streets, Ellis, you pick yourself up and just begin to will yourself and coast across the outskirts of the fish yard and then through the city, heading in that direction of Water Baron's Hall. Um, you can see the numerous homes that are scattered throughout this city are well maintained. You can see that there are various bits of, smoke billowing out of various chimneys. You can see that there are people conversing amongst each other, um, clothing being hung out to dry. No agriculture or farming or anything within the city itself, but you do see that there are a number of individuals that are just traversing, making their day. You don't see anybody making any direct like beeline or anything or going near the Water Baron's Hall. You get the sense that people generally just stay out of that space. As and as you get closer towards it, you can see that the actual hall itself is almost elevated up on a small like hillside. The dirt kind of, or the grass kind of fades away to dirt, and you can see that it all kind of builds up into this mound, and then up at the top of it stands Water Baron Hall. um, it is massive in size. You guesstimate it's easily maybe 300-400 feet across, and almost perfectly square, aside from the few entrance doors. Go ahead and make a perception check. Nice. Taking a few minutes to coast around the entirety of the building, it to the best I can describe it, and very similar to the picture that you're seeing, it is a very, Gothic cathedral type structure with dark black coating for roofing. The sides themselves appear to be thick blackened stone. There appear to be several doors on each side that lead in. The entire first floor has multiple stained glass, beautiful windows that depict various different pieces of art. Some of them appear to have like battles going on. Others appear to be representations of gods. And you kind of just do a winding spiral up towards the top. Um, you don't see any windows or anything on the second floor, and then as you get up towards the uppermost spire, towards the top, you only see a singular, larger stained glass window. It's maybe about 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall, with a beautiful depiction of Tamora on it. It's the only window in this upper spire. You can see that while the third floor chamber itself is relatively smaller than the rest, you just know from conversation with your friends that this is probably where the Water Baron's bedroom resides. You don't see any hatches or trapdoors or anything that would give access to the roof itself. And as you kind of peer down from above, it almost looks like there is some kind of a small interior courtyard that kind of loops around the inside of the Water Baron's hall. So almost as if like right in between these gaps here, where you can't see it on the photo, because I don't have a top down of this, it appears to be like a small uh, grassy courtyard of sorts.
And can I see through the stained glass?
How close do you want to get to it?
I will put my eye against the window.
Give me a second. Okay. You quietly float up next to the stained glass window and you try to peer within. Apart from the deep greens and reds that are emblazoned on different portions of this, there are also bright yellows, and you try to peer through one of the lighter colors here within the stained glass, and what you can just barely make out with the light kind of hitting onto this glass as well, kind of aiding you. It definitely appears to be a bed chamber of sorts. You can see that there's a large bed directly below the stained glass window. It's almost about the same uh, width as the window itself. Um, you can see what appears to be a desk and some furniture. I'm trying to think. You can also see. Oh, let me look at the actual photo. Hold up. Yeah, so you can see what appears to be a desk and furniture off to the left side. You can see what appears to be like some kind of with that roll, what appears to be a ladder well or something that leads down on the right. And you can see various other like desks and wardrobe things like that. You don't see anyone else in the room at the moment, but again with that roll, what you see at the far end opposite of the stained glass window, um, what appears to be a obsidian pillar that is placed on the ground at the back end of the room, and it rises up maybe about 3 or 4 feet, and then fixed atop it, not sitting on but almost floating slightly, what appears to be a grayish orb, maybe about, if you had guessed, 2 or a foot and a half in diameter, and you're not entirely certain if it's a trick of the light, but it appears to be kind of like mist or something is emanating from it.
Hmm. All right. Some good information. I don't know really how to test this. Because I'm invisible. So the light is peering through me very well. Do I get the sense it might be impossible to see through the stained glass at night?
It may be very difficult to do so with
Okay.
unless there was some kind of light source coming from the inside out.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Y- You would gather without light shining and hitting onto this chamber, it, it would be very hard,
Okay.
but not impossible.
Oh, that's the information I was looking for. I'll spend the next 5 minutes. Oh, wait. Before I leave, I want to go down to the first floor to one of the stained glass windows,
Yeah.
and I want to breathe on it and draw a dick.
Okay. Um,
And then just fly away.
make another stealth check, because now you're interacting with objects.
Leaving evidence. Goodness.
Okay. What side of the building? North, south, east, or west?
Just like the a window towards the most front of the building, like something I don't know. It was, I mean, it's a finger drawn thing. It's gonna disappear really fast.
Yeah,
I
it
just
will. It's just the as you're rubbing your dry finger across wet fog, or moist glass. It makes that.
I will I will do it on the front of the building.
All right, sounds good. So give me 1 second. Let's see, +3. Okay. Yeah. You confidently fly over to the front side of the building, and what you actually see, now that you're lower to the ground, is that there are guards stationed at the front of the building. There are two of them. Um, these individuals in particular are rather, they're both humanoid, rather tall, a decent muscular build. Um, Again, wearing the same similar attire to the other shields of Yortar that you have seen throughout the city. Um, they both appear to be carrying some kind of like scimitar or short sword, and then they just appear to be standing at the ready of the entrance of the doorframe, just kind of mildly talking to each other here and there. But they seem to be pretty focused on their jobs.
All right. Well, I did what I came to do, and I will fly back to my friends.
Yeah. Okay. Um, for the rest of you, while you are loitering around in a shadowed alley, about 5 or so minutes pass by. You
Wait,
guys
can't
are.
we just be walking on the road or something? Like,
That's what I was asking. What were you guys doing? You guys said it being inconspicuous, so you didn't specify. So I assumed you
Yeah,
were
being
staying in
inconspicuous
place.
is like walking around and having a conversation. It's not loitering in a shaded alley.
Hey,
yeah, that's pretty
That's
conspicuous.
conspicuous.
no, it's not. Sure. Anyway,
No,
so if
nobody-
if you
Perry's
guys are
definition notwithstanding.
okay, if you guys are wandering around, then never
Nobody
mind.
sees. Nobody sees it.
If you don't tell me you're being mobile, I assume you're staying still.
Can I see if anyone's like tailing us or anything like that?
Make a perception
Maybe
check.
whether it's good or bad.
Holy
Uh,
shit.
You look behind you.
Perry.
Yes, I guess. Go for
Wait,
it.
Or-
just wait till the day he starts saying no.
I know that's why I always ask.
I don't know if it works that. In my head, it doesn't work that way. But like to me, he's a lucky charm, so it works regardless, unless the DM says otherwise.
Oh, I asked. It's simply because it's your ability. So I don't
Yeah.
want to be like, oh, I'm going to auto use it type of thing. So that's
Yeah.
why.
It's whenever a player makes a skill check, they get to re-roll it if you burn your reaction, right?
Bountiful luck. I know. I mean, I understand how the actual thing works. I was just thinking when I was wanting to take that feat, I want him to be a lucky charm and not be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just giving you luck." It's you. Oh, everyone is lucky around me.
You just wish it and it happens. So, I mean, we'll talk about this offline.
Okay.
Um, you take a look around you, Tizio, and you feel pretty confident that you're just kind of blending in and just you're staying out in the open, just kind of wandering around from shop to shop within the fish market, just stopping, having small conversation with some of the proprietors there that are trying to sell you fish or whatever small general wares that they have, and uh, kind of like what you would do when you're like perusing a carnival or something, just soaking in the information and things that are there. You don't feel like you're being followed or watched.
Uh, question. You mentioned we're in the fish market.
Yeah, well, keep you pretty
So
inconspicuous.
so like
It's
down here essentially, or
correct. Yeah.
okay.
There are a lot of people there, so it's not like it's just the group of you. And you're kind of, you're keeping together, talking amongst yourselves, doing whatever it is you wanted to be doing, while other vendors and people are just going about their business, walking, talking. Some are eating, buying new things.
Simply because I'm interested in a location that's on the map you have for us.
Yeah.
Like we don't know everything that's here, correct?
You don't
Like
know the
that you're showing us.
names, no.
Okay. I'd try to look for like a map pamphlet that kind of shows us points of interest. I'm curious on a place that's on the map you're showing us. That's why.
What place?
The magical sundries.
Yeah. I mean, you can. If you were to ask around, I know Perry had asked this on the last session. You guys were kind of asking around, and you guys were told that, like, magical items and stuff aren't. They're not against the law within the city, but there's a very select amount of things that are approved by the Water Baron. And they would kind of point you off to Walheim's, which he's a bit of a kook, but he's never caused any problems for the city, and the Shield of the Artar leave him alone. So you can be guided in that direction.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, I didn't want to kind of metagame that location. That's more.
Hey, DM.
Yes.
I'd like to do one last thing because my fly may end in 10 minutes, but I still get invisibility for another 50.
Yes, that's correct.
So,
And you
I'm
also have a extra movement, just in case that helps.
that's not gonna matter much. I I used to steal things, but like now I'm pretty rich, so I don't really need to take anything. Um and I feel like I've got my fights in pretty much. I feel like my life is decently thrilling where I don't have to pick fights with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
However, not stealing like I used to do, and not just picking fights like I used to do, has left me with a small pit, and I really feel like messing with someone.
Okay.
So, with this invisibility, I'm gonna hang around the fish yard and pick on one individual using my telepathy to haunt him.
Okay. So what we'll do is we will take a quick break here. We'll be back in about 5-6 minutes or so, and then you can tell me all about the poor man that you were about to have a terrible day with.
Right.
Sound good?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, everybody. I'll see you back in a few minutes. I gotta add this photo back in place. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Nope, wrong one. Sure, let's do this. Okay, I'm back. Alright, just waiting on Talum and Tizio, I think.
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm listening. I'm just kind of preoccupied, unfortunately, but I'm
Okey-doke.
listening.
Okay, so as we pull back in, um, Ellis, you kind of you feel your body starting to get heavier and heavier, and you start to realize that the spell that was cast on you seems to be fading, and so you take that kind of moment to lower yourself close enough down to the ground where you can land just outside of the fish market. And there you can see a plethora of people that are just wandering throughout. Some of them just having just conversations amongst themselves, and make a perception check.
I'm listening specifically for someone to be called their name.
Okay.
Oh, uh, perception is +50, so 24.
Whoa, okay. Standing there amongst the hustle and bustle of the fish yard itself, what you happen to catch is you see a young female with auburn hair who is just in the process of just walking eastward. Looks like they have several different bags on them, or not bags, but like they're carrying several different types of groceries. And you can see that a older, rather portly gentleman, wearing this like a white apron or something around, just comes running up with this loaf of bread and says, Jenna, you forgot this." And she turns around. She says, "Oh, thank you, Wilbert. I appreciate it. Uh, Good day to you. May tomorrow watch over you." And she kind of nods and continues heading on eastward.
Well, this will be interesting. And I'll saunter up, squeeze my way through people,
Mm-hmm.
just start to trail behind Wilbert.
Okay. Okay.
And I will say in a telepathically in my lowest whispery creepy voice say, "The collector has come. Your debt must be paid."
Make make a performance check. Cause why not?
Oh no.
You you watch Wilbert stop, and he kind of looks around, a little confused. The rather bushy mustache on the front of his face kind of twitches a little bit as he cocks an eyebrow and just kind of looks to the busy market, who seems to be paying him no mind. You can see that now that you're close enough towards him, he's covered in like what appears to be like flour, and you can see there's some egg stains and things like that. You get the sense maybe he some kind of a baker. Um, he, as he stops and stares out amongst the masses, he just kind of goes, "Hello?"
I will respond, "The mistakes of your past are never forgotten."
He, he's looking around a little more frantically now, as he's completely unaware of where this voice is coming from. It's like, who's talking to me? Where are you?"
What will it be first, Wilbur? Your fingers or toes?
But he takes a step back for a moment. He goes, I whoever's doing this, it's not funny. And you can see now that like he's talking louder, and it's garnering the attention of a number of people who are kind of giving him this awkward look.
Ellis holds back from laughing out loud.
Hmm.
And he says, "The crows fly white at night, but black when they seek to take their prize."
No, I. What kind of devilry is this? Leave me alone! Be gone! And
However, all will be forgotten if you tell the next person you meet to go fuck themselves.
he's trying to cover his ears now, and you watch as he's shaking his head, and he's just saying, "No, no, please leave me alone." And within a few moments, actually, what you see are two shields of Yartar that now approach him, and they go, "Well, what is the meaning of this?" He goes, the voices. What? So, someone's playing some kind of cruel prank on me. Give me 1 second. You watch as the two guards kind of look at each other, and there's this look of bewilderment on their face, and in turn each of them kind of wrap their arms under his and say, "Let's go. Come with us." And you, no, please, you have to believe me. There's someone's trying to talk to me in my mind. I don't. This is just a prank. It must be. And he begins to get dragged off, and as he does, you literally watch as the path they're taking, people just start parting way, and you watch as people begin averting their eyes and ignoring, and eventually he is dragged up northward towards the Water Baron's Hall.
Oof.
Well, might have to save him later. It's almost a little too effective. Ooh. I could also end my invisibility by punching a guard. Nah, probably a bad idea.
Just watch someone get dragged away. So
Well, I note how unsuspectingly effective that was. And I go look for my friends.
Okay, and within short time, you do see that they are just wandering around the fish yard itself. You guys actually notice what you see is you all hear shouting of, "No, this is just a prank," and then seeing these two guards now dragging just some civilian just off and up towards Water Baron's Hall. And the entire time he's just shouting, "No, please, I didn't mean it, I swear. It's nothing, I promise."
I wonder what happened to him. How long has Ellis been gone by now, I guess?
Probably a good 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, Eva, should you send him a message, see if he's okay?
Well, we should check on him.
He's probably too far away, but I'm sure he's fine.
Can I slap Ava to end my invisibility? On the back?
Yeah, you feel a calloused hand hit you on the back of your neck, Eva.
She'll jump up with a shriek and turn around and say, "Ah, see, told you he was right there."
Hey! What's up, guys? Little note, we may have a side quest when we go to the Baron's Hall, but just here's the main thing, which we can discuss later, not out in the open.
You know, when I made a side quest, everyone got mad at it. Why aren't you guys mad at Ellis?
We don't know what it is yet.
Ooh.
Maybe it's like Ella thinks to tie a shoe or something. Quick and easy.
Alice doesn't even have shoes.
That's true. I wear sandals.
Wizards, I tell ya.
It says what are sandals, not shoes. What is?
Well, that's a good debate.
We've got some
So,
time to kill.
yeah, we want to go like eat or something, find a booth somewhere a little more, cornered off.
Sure.
I don't suppose there's a place to eat near the manor.
No, most of the homes that you see around Water Baron's Hall are just living residences from what you guys have gathered from just being in the city.
Okay. Yeah, let's go find a table and discuss what you saw. And our plans for tomorrow.
Easy enough to do. You guys can take a moment to just kind of traverse around. There, where do you guys want to go specifically? To the coin toss or?
Let's do the coin toss, yeah.
Okay. Let me pull that up. Where did I put it? Hmm. What did I do with it? Do 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 do. Okay, that's fine enough. After a few minutes of just, kind of traveling up through the city, let's see here. Do, 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 do. You come across a rather standard, just a run-of-the-mill tavern, um, not too far off from the fish yard itself. Um, Rather simplistic on the outside, but once you guys kind of walk inside, it's quite bustling with a number of people who, even at this earlier hour in the day, are just enjoying some good ale and some food. Um, it's not like louder or what's the right word I'm looking for. Uh, there isn't a lot of conversation or noise that's coming from within. There's no music playing or anything like that. It's rather quiet. Um, but it's I don't know how else to describe it. It's pretty unremarkable, really, if you had to describe it. It looks pretty plain as you kind of like walk inside and look and see the numerous amounts of people that are just gathered within, just minding their business. You almost kind of wonder, like, well, why were we even recommended to this place? However, what you see as you step inside, what appears to be a wooden stool within the center of this tavern, and a older looking helm, full face covering with a small slit for like a visor where your eyes can actually peer through. You can see that it's actually cordoned off by about 2 or 3 feet of rope, and in the center, you actually see that there are a number of gold and silver pieces.
We can just go sit anywhere.
Yeah, there's a table that is available for you guys to just kind of cluster around. It's near the center, closer to this helm that you guys see when you walk inside, and shortly after you a young human female, a barmaid, just kind of walks up to the group of you and begins to ask, like, oh well, welcome. Can I get you anything to drink or looking for something to eat?
Sure. Food and whiskey is great.
Yeah, and easily enough food can be provided to the group of you. It's the atmosphere. It's off-putting just because of the fact that you guys are used to being able to walk into taverns and just hear the rambunctious noise of music and conversation, and then people here seem to be they're not trying to like whisper to each other. They're talking amongst one another, just minding their business. Nobody seems to pay you guys any attention when you come in. You see people just kind of like look the other way. Um, it's it's just off-putting. But within enough time, food and drinks can be brought to the group of you.
All right. Well, here's what I found when I was, touring the gallery, per se, all right? You sticking with me? All right, let's go. Look, now I've been to some art galleries, and there's some lower tier art at this art gallery, but man, there is one tapestry at this gallery at the very top tier. I mean, this was a top tier painting. Um, and it looked incredible. In fact, it looked so great. It was like a dream. It takes you exactly where you want to be. However, at night, it might look like it's painted black. So, you have to see really good. You have to have a great artist's eye in order to actually view the painting at night. Otherwise, you could try and, enter the dream in the day.
What?
I have no idea what he's talking about. What?
What?
Kind of, I nudge Ava. The gallery. The gallery.
The galleries were like a window to the soul.
Why are we speaking in code?
Am I the only one that gets you, Ellis? Really?
It's it's street talk, man. When you're in a place you don't know, what kind of skeptics and art critics are gonna criticize you for liking some types of art and not others. You gotta be careful.
Especially amongst strangers.
So, so it's really hard to see the painting we're looking for.
I'm glad I
Yeah.
don't have to go in there
It's
tomorrow.
hard to see. It's hard to see the painting at night.
Uh,
And so, going through the painting, entering into it, might be a little difficult then. But if we were patient and we made it like we entered the painting during the day and then let it linger, and then we come out and we observe it in the starlight, maybe you get the full experience.
Sure.
Come on, guys.
yeah, sounds like we should do that then. Yeah.
Well, it's just an option. Otherwise, make sure you got yourself some keen eyes. But, it didn't look like there were any, wards or guards trying to push people away from the painting. I
You
think
mean
once you're
security?
security. Yeah. I don't think there's any security inside that particular painting. The bottom galleries, for whatever reason, they protect those a lot more. But this top gallery, this top painting, if you can get inside and get out relatively the same way, might be preferred, then I think we're on golden. Also, I just want to mention the thing that protects all of the paintings is inside the top painting. From stuff getting punctured and ruined. That thing, it's on the top.
So we should go through the top painting. Yeah. Is there a way into the top painting?
Well, I imagine you just stare at it for a really long time. And then you use your heart and your mind, maybe even your words. It's almost like magic. That's probably the best way in.
Well, that's what we were gonna do, right?
I think so.
So should we
Question
get
is-
tickets for the gallery tomorrow, or should we do a little bit more research before visiting?
I think it would bode well for at least one of us to do another pass at the gallery after the stars come out, just to make sure that the gallery is worth going, when the moon is upon the sky. Because otherwise, we'd have to see the gallery in the day.
Yeah, I believe they jack up the prices at night. So yeah, that
Right.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna
if it-
take a look at everyone else on the table and see if they're like confused or they understood it.
I mean, if it's dark and we need to see in the gallery, can't we just light stuff up?
Yeah, but you don't want to disturb the other people who like looking at the paintings in the dark.
That is a common type of person.
It's yeah. The humans, their eyes have to adjust.
All I'm saying is, maybe smart to do one more night of, looking at the art in the dark, seeing if we'd like it, and then deciding from there what the best course of action should be. Maybe
Sure.
maybe we can do another one of those far range things where we try and guesstimate what the art is going to be before we get there. Using, your monocles. And new toys.
Yeah, I think we get it.
Okay. Some of you faces look like you're not following me, and I'm disappointed.
I agree. Perry's face seems like his intelligence is like a dump.
We came to this area to talk about it, not talk about art. Okay. The whole idea was to get a table so we would be left alone. Look, it's fairly empty in here, right? That was the idea.
No, it's actually pretty full. However, the atmosphere is rather mute. It's people are having conversations amongst themselves. And as you guys are talking about art and things like that, you do garner a couple looks in your direction as you guys are talking a little bit louder than the rest. It's almost like again, I don't know how to quite describe the atmosphere. It's almost like when you're at a funeral home and you're bearing witness to a casket. Everyone kind of mumbles to themselves whatever passing things in some kind of remembrance, and you guys are just like, yeah, man, we're here. Like, what the fuck? Like, why is this not a happy tavern? And it's not causing a disturbance or anything like that, but it's the vibe is definitely different. And you do see at one point a rather brutish looking human male who stands probably a good 7 feet tall or so, who is in the process of like carrying in these two large casks of ale. He is shirtless, but wearing these dark like black leather, or yeah, leather like trousers, and these thick brown boots over straps. And he kind of slams the two tankards or casks of ale onto the counter, and just is in the process of like retapping it and setting it up. Um, you see at one point, one of the barmaids who are kind of running around servicing tables kind of goes up to him and just like asks him a question, and you watch as he works his way over towards, I guess, one of these tables of customers and starts having a quiet conversation with them. You're not sure about what.
Maybe we need to buy some drinks for this tavern to liven it up a bit.
It is rather somber for a tavern run by a dude who's not wearing a shirt.
But I feel if we do buy drinks for people, it may cause suspicion.
I feel like if anything, we should play the game.
I mean, we're definitely playing the game.
All right.
Can I just like take a handful of my silver pieces and start? Do I like go to a certain line or?
Yeah, so like I said, maybe about 10 or so feet away from the table you guys are currently situated at, is this cordoned off like hempen rope that's making a box around this stool with a helmet sitting on top of it. And as you kind of get closer towards the helmet, you can see that the the spewing of coins that have been bouncing off and falling to the floor and have just been left there within the center. And as soon as you start walking over that way towards the rope line and just kind of lining yourself up with the eye slit in there, the that tall brutish looking male like stops the conversation that he was having with another table with this just a large meaty hand he just kind of puts up in front of them, and then just turns and grabs a nearby stool and just sits and just watches. Doesn't say anything to you. He just looks and just.
All right, let's do this.
So you're throwing silver pieces.
For now, yeah, for now. I got 21 silver pieces to throw.
Okay, this will be a dexterity check for you to attempt to throw it into this very small hole. And mind you, it's not a vertical slit, it is a horizontal slit.
Okay, okay.
Ding! Dum, 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 dum. You throw the first piece, and it hits towards the mouth or chin area, and it kind of bounces and ricochets off the stool and just kind of tumbles down to the ground. And at that sound, everyone's now looking at you.
Oh, come on, Perry, you can do better than that. Take an inspiration. Yeah, it's a 1d8, and remember, you can just keep using it every time, because if you fail, it stays with you.
Okay, okay.
Nice. Second attempt, you try this time now to kind of like lob it in there in such a way that it is quite challenging. And again, you try to hit it, and this time it hits more towards the nose piece, and then just kind of ricochets and splashes down into the floor below. You can see now that there's a couple murmurs from people. One group of individuals you see is starting to pull out what appears to be some kind of like pocket change.
You're gonna start
You
seeing
just
me just
start
chain
chucking.
chain throwing. Oh, there.
At the D8.
All right.
Can I
What? Can you what?
no, I was gonna say, can I just go up and be like, Perry, come on, like, just do it right and like grab a coin from his hand and throw it?
I mean, you can certainly try to take a coin from Perry and throw it.
Perry won't care.
Okay.
Now, would it be a sleight of hand or no?
I mean, you're not. He's not resisting you taking it. So
To throw it.
this is just a straight dexterity. D20 plus your
Okay.
dex.
It's like that time when you're at the arcade and you're trying to get the basketballs in as fast as you can, and your friend just grabs one. It's whatever, dude. Just grab it, and go. Oh no way!
Well, Perry got the 26. Did the 26 get him close?
Well, I was gonna get to that because these things are happening in quick succession. So you watch as Tizio kind of snatches one of these silver pieces, right? And he just kind of like curveball throws it like a sidewinder to try to hit it, and it hits right into the eye slit. It doesn't go in, but it hits and it gets stuck for a moment, and then you watch as it tumbles back down and it just gets and sits almost beautifully like right on front of the stool, and everyone kind of gasps for a moment, and Perry in his flurry of just throwing, just without even really paying attention, and nobody really noticed it at first, but you guys were throwing it almost simultaneously, and you're not sure whether it was when Tizio got his stuck in or just the timing of it allowed yours to just and fall within the helm. Everyone kind of gasps for a minute and looks over towards this large brutish man who kind of stands up, and he walks over towards the center and just kind of walks over the hempen rope, and he lifts up the helmet and he looks at the silver piece. He says, too bad it wasn't the correct size. And he throws it back at you.
What? What do you mean the wrong side?
It is a goal to try the game.
Oh, okay.
And he laughs like this hearty bellowing laugh, and everyone just starts like the actual mood of the place starts to pick up a little bit. You can see that there's more conversation now as people are talking amongst themselves a little bit more lively, and you can hear one of the barmaids kind of walks over to you, and she just like sheepishly says, I'm sorry if we just assumed you knew what to do, or you were practicing. It's a gold minimum to try to throw in." And she kind of points down towards the floor. There's a lot more gold than silver pieces.
Well, that's fine. I was just trying to make it in, and then pull out my gold.
Yeah. And at you doing this, you watch as that large proprietor just kind of like points his finger towards the bar for a moment to try to signal one of his employees, and then he just points over towards the table that you were sitting at, and you watch as they immediately start like filling up a couple drinks and just bringing it over to you like it ain't for the night, it's just for the one, but let's see what you can do.
All right, here we go again. Gold pieces this time.
Sure. Pa-ting! Bounces off. Bounces off.
It's 21 make.
It does not.
Oh man. I don't think I gotta hit 22 is the highest I can make.
Yep.
Oh, I
don't
can
think
cheer
it's
you
enough.
on again. Sorry. Got another inspiration.
Eva
No,
throws you
no.
another inspiration, so
Now I can keep going.
yeah, if you like. Great thing about perpetual inspiration.
18 could be enough if you roll an 8 on the D8.
24.
That does not make it.
Oh man.
It is very difficult.
Oh,
Hey,
yes.
there you go. So,
Let me count this up quick.
yep,
Hold on.
yep.
9. Just a handful of gold pieces, just chucking
Just
it rapid fire.
and you're all watching this, and Perry's just having a blast, just throwing it in. Just you see his tongue sticking out a little bit, and eventually, at one point, you just kind of you again, you're not sure if it's just luck or coincidence, but you manage to one slips right in between the visor itself, and it falls in, and again, after you were throwing the silver and people were kind of like just picking up and talking, they started to ignore you a little bit until but that one owner, he's just been sitting there watching the entire time, just eyes focused on you, focused on the helm, and the room gets quiet again once they see him stand up, and he walks back over, and once again he picks up the helm, and you watch as he looks down and he picks up the gold piece, and everyone starts turning and looking in his direction. There's some applause and there's some clapping and cheering, and you watch as he crushes this helm with his bare hand, drops it onto the floor, and he says, "Well, it seems like someone's finally got Tamura's luck. Um, you feel within you almost like this presence. You're not entirely sure. You feel this small warm sensation that burns within your chest, and then it fades away. You're not sure what that was. But either way, it's he crushes the helm in his hands, and it looked like it was a perfectly good steel helm. A little old, a little rusty, but nevertheless like in good condition, and you're a little astounded by the fact that he's crushing this barehanded. And then you watch as he begins to flex his arms and like roll in his chest a little bit, and you watch as a very similar helm of size and shape tumbles out from within, and he just kind of looks over at you and he says, "What's your name, little one?"
Perry Ironhill. Pleased to meet you.
"Well, you, young man, have earned yourself drinks for the rest of the night, should you wish to imbibe it. Come, let us talk for a moment."
Wonderful.
And he kind of guides you over towards the front of the bar for a moment. He's like, "Morena, get this man whatever he wants." And he places the gold coin into what appears to be like some kind of jar or something on the center of the counter. It's the only coin that's there. He kind of leans over to the shoulder, over towards you, and just kind of leans one heavy shoulder onto the side. And he looks at you and he says, "Well, that's with some fine throws there. What brings you into town?"
Well, just business. I own, well, my colleagues and I, we own a tavern over in Waterdeep. So we're just visiting tavern to tavern. You know, seeing what everyone offers. And this game seemed like the perfect idea to try out.
"Well, it is little I can do to pass the time, since I stay within these walls for the most of it. My name is Tanakastar Moonwind. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am the proprietor here within the coin toss. I must say you were the first in a very long time to have been able to do that. Not many, I would say, are capable."
Nah, maybe it was just luck. I've got plenty of gold coins to throw at it. I was ready to just start throwing 5 at a time.
He lets out a hearty laugh and he says, "Well, it's good to see that you are not bound by coin and such small things like that. Well, is that all you're doing within the city? Is just perusing different taverns and bars in hopes of stealing other people's games?"
Don't worry, I would not steal your game.
Ah, good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, if there's anything that we can do to help you out tonight, let us know. But Drinks are free for you as long as you are here.
Wonderful.
Your friends still have to pay, though.
Just tell him you want 50 casks and to ship it to Waterdeep.
Yes, just sign that up. That'd be funny.
Well, I don't know about just giving you some free ale, but if you're looking for some kind of shipping arrangement, maybe I can see what I have available.
Well, yeah, you must have some sort of deal with the. Why am I blanking on her name? The water barons. You must have some sort of deal with the water barons in this area, right?
His face gets a little more stern at the mention of her. Um, he, he doesn't seem like scared or put off or anything, but just the mention of the water baron just changes the more jovial features of his face to a more stern look. He says, "She keeps her thumb on anything she can within the city, that's true. We have an arrangement for me to run my business. We stay out of trouble and we stay out of her way. It doesn't cause a problem for anyone. As long as you pay your taxes on time, it's not an issue."
All right, I was just curious. We were hoping to possibly meet with her since we made it wanted to trade, but it's not a concern. It is not a priority. It seems she's I wouldn't say feared, but she is respected.
Ever since she has taken over the city as the current water baron, I would say crime has gone down significantly. Um, Many people keep to their own business, just living out their day-to-day lives. If I thought you said you were running a tavern of sorts, are you also a merchant as well? You're looking to trade with the city.
Well, if they had something to offer, then yes, possibly. But I'm not looking for fish, and from my understanding, there isn't a whole lot of ale to be made in this area. We were just passing through, really, and we thought we would stop by.
Make a deception check.
Yes. Man, 20's
How
all
many is
fucking
that
night.
tonight, man? Damn. Look at you. Gotta get those rigged weighted computer dice. Nice. Okay, well he nods. He looks at you and he just nods understandingly. He's like, the city is a hub for transport from the east. Most of the merchants that have to travel from far off lands end up coming through this area first, and I wouldn't say the water baron is in charge of what is the word managing the mercantile that comes through, but more of a gatekeeper to the Sword Coast. Without her allowing access to neighboring countries, it would be most difficult for them to travel along the savage frontier and to work their way to the cities that they need to. This is the most direct and safest route for them.
Gotcha. So it would make more sense if we were merchants to do business, not necessarily for tavern keepers.
Whatever things that, well, let me correct that. Uh, if you have some sort of trade arrangement which required you to either import or export out to the east, I'm sure you would be speaking with her at some point, yes, to arrange the proper tariffs for bringing in such things.
DM, we don't. Do we hear this conversation or no?
You can make perception checks. You guys are a little far. And now that Perry has successfully um, done this, people are actually talking a little louder. There is one like slightly older male, maybe in his like 40s or so, who actually seems to pull out some kind of like lute and begins to start just strumming along mindlessly. It's not a great tune.
Perry, does your luck rub off on me?
Perry's too far
Yeah,
away from
sure.
you. He's too far
Uh
away.
oh.
Okay.
So you unfortunately don't pick up on anything. You can see them talking back and forth. You see some hearty laughs coming from him, and then a stern look on his face, and then there's some nodding. You're not sure what they said.
Well, I'll get back to my group. Thank you for speaking with me about this. I appreciate the drinks.
Well, your patronage is welcome anytime. And you watch as he puts a large hand over onto your shoulder and like claps onto it, and you can feel your weight kind of like push down from the weight of it for a moment as he kind of goes, "Oh, sorry about that," and just kind of turns and walks off. Like he's big. I would say like at 7 feet he looks like he's probably a good 350.
Good lord.
Yeah,
And he's just a human?
like a human, just pure muscle looking. You're not entirely sure
Yeah.
actually. Make a perception check. You've heard stories. You haven't met one before. He appears to be a Goliath.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
But he kind of wanders off, and you can see now that there's a couple of the barmaids are actually in the process of sweeping up the coins and stuff that have been tossed onto the ground, and it almost kind of looks like they're cleaning up the space. And you can still see the crushed helm that is like just amongst the pile, and the replica helm, which again he didn't like pull out of a pocket. It came out of his body, which was a strange sight to see. Almost like he like herniated a helm.
Oh, literally.
Yeah,
Okay.
he literally like he shit a helm out of his stomach.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that's what you meant. I thought you meant like out of his pocket or magically or
Nope.
something.
It just you watched as the skin warped and build or like billowed up, and then this helm just came out.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
I'm gonna ask. Can I ask one of the barmaids to keep the crushed helm?
They look at you. Make a persuasion check.
As a memento.
Let me ask Mr. Moonwind. And she kind of rushes off like with this helm in both of her hands and kind of like takes it over to the man you just spoke with, and he looks back over to you, and his head kind of tilts to the side a little bit like in a bit of confusion, and then he just kind of waves it off like sure whatever, and you watch as she kind of rushes back over and she hands it over to you, and he says he said you're the most curious merchant taverner he's ever met. But here,
Yeah, I guess I'm not around or from around these parts. But thank you.
of course. And you can kind of make your way back to your friends.
Crushed helm. Like mount it to the wall in my room or something. Did you see that guy? Easy. I got free drinks for the night.
How much gold did you spend trying to get the
That's
gold in
only
the hole?
10, I guess 11 if you include the silver.
Sounds like your drinks cost 11 silver or 11 gold.
Yeah, whatever. I won the game.
What were you two lovebirds talking about over there?
No, just seeing if you knew anything about the water barons. But nothing useful, I would say. Nothing more than we didn't already know.
So, as you guys kind of sit amongst yourselves and just enjoy some ale and food, what do you guys wish to do?
Perry's gonna be getting all them drinks before we leave.
Okay. Are you drinking to the point of intoxication?
Sure, why not? Why not?
Okay.
I have enough to make some rolls.
Yeah, sure. Okay. It's up to you guys. How long do you guys kind of stay in here? At this point, you guys are approaching towards midday.
Wait,
She's
it's only
getting wasted
noon?
for midday.
Yep. You guys woke up early. You guys went and collected
Awesome.
material, scouted out the water barons, went to the tavern. So yeah, it's
Yeah, checks out.
noon or so.
Right. Well, while he's getting drunk, I do have some stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone wants to join me. I feel like, we're out in the new world now. If you guys ever want to, join me on my adventurous style, am I the only one who likes shopping for myself?
I heard of this really nice shop up north. Can I tell them about it?
The magical sundries.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Perhaps there's something there that may pique your interest.
Yeah, that
All
sounds
right.
promising. Sundries is basically an upper class word for weird shit.
I mean, that sounds dope. I definitely need a haircut.
I mean, I
think
could
that's
I,
part
I
of
could give you
sundries.
one of those as well.
You guys can give me a haircut?
I can definitely give you a
Yes.
haircut.
Like a nice one?
Let me just grab your hair quick.
Yes.
Oh. Alright, I totally trust you. But if you shave me bald, I will kill you in your sleep.
That's pretty harsh.
You're right. I'll kill you while you're awake, with honor.
Slightly better, I guess.
Well, that's me in a nutshell. Alright. I'll do the haircut later. Maybe, when we're sitting down. In the meantime, let's see. Yep. I got nice pants. Oh! Yes, that's what I want to do. I want to go back to the guy who sells, the fabrics.
Okay.
And I want to get I basically want to get a Boy Scout sash.
Okay.
And I want to start filling it with homemade badges of all of the shit that I accomplish.
That's hilarious.
And I would like to commission a badge of someone riding a dragon.
Like a Velcro patch.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay. It. Okay. You put in the request to the small older halfling who operates out of the Firelast and he says, "Oh well, it's a unique request. The sash is easy enough to do. It'll take me some time to sew up a person riding a dragon. You say? Any particular color?"
Actually, no. Yeah, I will leave the artistry of the patch up to you, but um, I do want my sash to be, red. I want my sash to be red.
I think it'll go great with the white.
Awesome.
All
Red
right.
sash. The patch is up to your creativity.
All right, all right. And what'd you say your name was again, young man?
Ellis.
All right, Ellis. Well, just give me a day or so. Let me see what I can muster up.
Right on. Oh, that black fabric you gave me, by the way, perfect. Just what I needed.
I'm glad to hear it. The next time you're looking for some nice, decent fabrics, just don't forget, Firelast has what you need.
Right on. All right.
See
And
you in
then
the
if
morning. Yeah.
anyone wants to follow me to this magic shop, that's probably where I'll go next.
I shall come with you.
Okay. So, for those of you who wish to find Walheim's magical sundries, somebody make an investigation check for me.
I'm gonna Perry, are you gonna stay here drinking? Like, are you able to leave and come back, or do you have to? Are your drinks free from here on out as long as you don't leave?
I mean, we can just go. I mean, I'm not that worried about the money or the drinks.
Can 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 you get one to go?
Yeah, let's get one, a really big one to go.
It's not illegal to like walk around the streets with a drink, right?
You don't know.
Have I seen anyone walking around with drinks?
No.
I will just a regular one, Perry.
But that's still a big one to me.
Uh, we will share, okay?
I guess yeah. Ask the barkeep. One drink to go, please.
She looks at you like, what? I, she's flustered again. She
As many odd requests as I can think of.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, yeah, they fill you a cup of ale with it. It's not one of their standard steins that they usually use within the establishment. You gather that she kind of had to rush off to find something that probably won't get her in trouble if she never sees it again. But she manages to fill you up a small mug of ale, take with you. And she goes, you didn't get it from here.
Get what? And then I'll just leave with it.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, if I didn't see anyone drinking out on the street, I'd probably like chug it before walking out with it.
It's up to you guys.
That comment screams this is gonna go well.
So, you gather up a slightly stumbling Perry as he kind of raises his mug in the air, says goodbye to everyone. You can see that there's a couple nods in your direction as you leave, but you can make your way back out onto the cobblestone streets, and with Tizio kind of telling you what to look for, tell him you take that information and know that, hey, let's head up towards the northern side of the city's wall and hopefully find what you were looking for. You spend about maybe 30 or so minutes traveling across town up to the northern side of the city, and you're looking for a shop, and some kind of like semblance of, hey, this is a store front or something, just like the fish yard. And you don't see it at first. You just see homes everywhere. Um, what catches your eye, Tellum, is one home in particular. While the exterior generally looks, acceptable, it's not like dilapidated or anything like that, but there are some holes in the wall. Um, one pane of glass is actually broken out of the front side of this small cottage. Um, it's dark inside, but it's the only place that kind of stands out to the rest. And from what information you were kind of given, you're like, I guess this is it. This is where that old kook Walheim lives.
Hey DM, before you go any further, I just have a question on a building on the map that we would have passed by, I'm assuming. And that's this guy right here.
Uh-huh.
Does it have like any sort of like signage or name or anything like that? I'm just curious because the design is different than all the other buildings.
Hold on. This one?
Yeah,
It,
and we
as you walk past it, it doesn't have a sign or anything on it. From what you can tell, it looks like a church. And I mean, if you were to stop a passerby, they would tell you that that is the Happy Hall of Fortuitous Happenstance.
can you
And
put that in chat?
sure.
Thank you.
The Happy Hall of Fortuit. What the hell does that mean?
Oh, happenings.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Like, is that an actual god or?
Yeah, it is actually a temple to Tamora, the god of luck.
Oh, well, thank you, kind sir or woman. I'm not sure who told us that.
Sure, sure. Just happy to help a fellow citizen around the city.
And then Wayne's World flashback to where we're at now, or fast forward to where we're at now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, but you stand before this oddly pockmarked cottage of sorts, just made of what appears to be like slabs of stone and just like a half of a straw roof, and then it's kind of mixed in with like some proper like shingles and things like that. But at the moment, it is dark lit on the inside. You can see that there's a small staircase of 5 or 6 steps that leads up to a porch, and then just a pretty plain looking just wooden door that sits closed.
Knock knock.
At first, you don't hear anything. About 2 minutes or so later, what you can hear, especially with your guys' passives, is the sounds of what sounds like pots or metal like clanging onto the floor, like a clang, 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 and then you swear you hear someone kind of swear under their breath, um, and then you can hear what sounds like a small dog that begins to start barking from within. Um, Another minute or so passes by, and you can see that lights start to begin to illuminate from within the interior before the door opens up and goes, "Oh, yes." And what you see before you is this hunched over um, human male with like matted brown hair, a very scruffy like beard chin that like hasn't grown in all the way. There are patches in different places. You can see that there are scars on the left side of his like cheek. You can see that he's wearing what appears to be like some kind of like heavy leather apron, and he's only got like one brown glove on. His trousers look singed, and he just kind of looks like wily-eyed at the group of you. And he goes, "Yes, can I help you?"
We heard there was a shop around this area.
"Yeah, I sell stuff. What do you want?"
What do you got?
"Oh, yeah. Come in, come in." And he pushes the door open and doesn't like wait or nothing. He just walks inside.
I'll follow him.
Sure. Um, as you step inside, it is the worst episode of Hoarders you've ever seen. And by the time you get through the initial like piles of just straight up garbage that are just piled everywhere, we're talking like old clothing, just like various bits of leather, bags, like all oddities and trinkets that are just strewn about everywhere. And you kind of like look up as you're like following this, like trying to make a path or something. You see he's already like on the other side, and he kind of looks over to you and goes, "Wow, I got a lot of stuff. Is there anything in particular you want?"
I think we're looking for stuff that's, pretty unique, one of a kind.
High quality.
Hey, I, everything here is in here is unique. There's only one of each. I try to make a very good habit of that. Um, high quality. I think all of these are the greatest. Oh,
Powerful.
you guys are so good at beating around the bush.
Infused with magic.
Oh, well, why didn't you frickin' say so? Um,
Oh, or just weird stuff. Just really weird stuff. Into weird stuff.
ah, that I have. That I have. Hold on a second. And he kind of like swan dives like into this pile for a minute, and there's this like one of the piles kind of like shifts and like just tumbles down, and you don't see him, and all you hear is just this rummaging, and you have no idea what he's looking for, but he emerges like a kid popping out of a swimming pool, just holding these like two objects in his hand. He goes, "These, I got these," and they appear to be one appears to be like some kind of cloak or like a piece of like dirty stained fabric, and you can see that there are all these different types of like designs or like patches on them. And the other thing he's holding in his hand appears to be this large jug, and it's got multiple different like corks sticking out of different places. And he kind of looks over to you, and goes, "See, I have really cool stuff here. You want it? You want it?"
What does it do?
Hold on. And he kind of sets him down, and he jumps back into the pile. He does this for another minute or so, and then he pulls out what appears to be like a piece of paper or parchment or something, and he's like, "Oh, this one," and he points at the jug. It apparently it makes a lot of different liquids. Um, if you need some oil or something to drink to wet your gullet, it can provide that up to an amount. Um, it's pretty useful. This one. Hold on. This one appears to be. Oh, right. And you watch as he holds up the cloak or the robe or whatever it is, and you watch as he grabs one of these like a green circular patch or something that's been sewn into it, and he rips it off and he kind of looks at it, and as he tosses it, it immediately like a small puff of white smoke like appears, and then what in place of the patch that he threw, a 6-foot ladder comes out. and just clatters on top of all the shit that he has in the house.
Is that cheaper now that it's been used?
Right, I should probably stop doing that.
Does it go back, or do they just come off?
Nope, I haven't been able to put him back on yet.
So it's been used multiple times.
No, this is the first time I've done it.
Is he lying?
Make an insight check.
Yup.
God damn it, you fucking.
Why don't like all these nat 20s happen when we're in battle? Like, or
Right,
like
right.
opening a door. Like,
He he's fucking lying. Like, you get the sense that he's like, oh wait, yeah, he might have shown this to a couple people. There might be a couple patches missing.
okay. Do you have anything of that hasn't been used
Yo.
before?
How much for that jug?
Oh, the jug. And he starts flipping through. Let me see, cause I gotta find it. For the jug, that's pretty useful. I don't know. You might not be able to afford it. 6,000 gold.
What comes out of it?
Let me read it off. Let's see.
Mayonnaise.
Yes, mayonnaise is definitely one of them.
Oh, oil.
Lather me
Ale.
up, baby.
Yeah, it's essentially an alchemy jug. So it creates acid, poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, fresh water, salt water, and wine. And you can see each of the various different corks that are in there are all different colors.
Seems pretty useful, but I don't know. 6,000's a little steep, and look, it has a chink out of it right here. See?
Yeah, it looks used too, just like the robe.
What? I'll have you know everything here is. You said high quality, powerful magic items, and that's what this is. You never
fair
know when.
enough.
You never know when you need mayonnaise. Have you ever had a dry sandwich?
Yeah, but I've never thought. I wish I could pay 6,000 gold for my sandwich not to be wet.
You'll appreciate every gold spent.
I mean, I've lived this long without one of those. Do you have something I can, live that I can't live without?
He looks at you and he goes, just make a straight persuasion check.
I clicked it. Hopefully it went through. It's not showing up on my end.
It hasn't shown up on mine either. There it goes. You rolled a 13 and a 19.
Yeah, it would have been 13.
Yeah. He kind of looks at you and he goes, I mean, who can do without mayonnaise? Ugh. But if you don't want these, and he like chucks the cloak to the side, and he sets the jug down, and he kind of just stands there, puts his arms up on his hips, and he goes, this, and he just pulls out, just from the pile, what appears to be like this long and gnarled wooden stick.
Looks like a stick.
It just looks like a stick. He's like, this is pretty useful in battle, but right, not going to demonstrate it in here.
Callum, I think you may have found the wrong spot.
Just use your words. What does it do?
Um, it it I'm not really a magic user. I just know that it can hurt others. And if the water baron knew about it, I didn't know it was in here.
Do you mind if I hold it for a minute?
Make a persuasion check.
It's a 20. They have the same bonus. I kind of took it wrong.
He make a dexterity saving throw. He throws it over towards you, and luckily you manage to catch it without it disappearing within the muck of the shit in his house. It's like, sure, just you're not gonna run off, are you? And he's like now second guessing himself, but he let you hold it.
Oh, cast identify.
It is a wand of magic missiles.
Nice.
And how much for this one?
Wait right there. He dives back into another pile. It's almost beyond imagination how he fucking knows where anything is in this house. After a moment or so, he kind of like pokes his head back out. He says, "Ah, right. I haven't really gotten to this price yet, but 6,000 gold pieces."
Look, I could do what this wand does for free. Like, it's not that powerful.
Even I can do that. Something similar.
Is everything 6,000 gold pieces?
No, it's not.
How much is the cloak?
Oh, the cloak. Let me hold on. Let me look back at the paper. Shit, where'd I put it? Da, 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 da. I literally just had it. That's what I get for closing tabs, man. The cloak will probably set you back about. Let me double check it. Yeah, about 4,500 gold.
Even with all the patches missing?
It's pretty useful.
You know, I
But
bet when
even
it had
with
all
all
the
the
patches, it
patches
was
missing?
6,000.
If it had all the patches. But this is how I got it when I got it.
Are you telling me that I'm gonna pay 4 grand for 18 ladders?
It does more than just make ladders, young one. Well, I don't know what all it does, but it's supposed to do more than just make ladders. And I don't think it'll make ladders anymore anyway. Oh, I mistook the size. It's not 6 feet. It is a 24-foot long ladder. So now there's this 24-foot ladder that is just embedded into his house. Excellent.
I just imagine it just like it's sticking out of the window and like
It-
hitting someone as it's passing by.
It probably broke another window, and you gather that this is probably one of the reasons why stuff's broken in his house. Like it kind of like protruded and like broke through some of the the wall.
Can Ellis grab a random thing nearby and ask how much it is?
Yeah, sure.
I'm so glad you asked that because I was gonna kind of ask the same thing.
Sure. God, you guys are so stingy.
Well, I was actually gonna dive since he's been diving into like piles. I was actually gonna like try to dive into like the least interesting pile that I could see.
You're trying to dive into a pile?
Yeah, because that's what he's been doing. Correct? You said.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Roll a d100, Ellis,
Oh.
and then yeah, if you're full on trying to do what he's doing, make a dexterity saving throw. I gotta pull up my chart.
Oh God. It's not TPK or I guess
No, but you're
Tizio's
diving.
laugh.
You're not.
Oh my gosh.
He's Scrooge McDucking into.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're like.
I'm Peter Griffining
Yeah,
this one.
no. Exactly, that's what happens. Uh, uh,
Oh God! How
Here,
did you do that?
you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you kind of like collide body first into like a pile of like metal and wood, and it hurts. But you know, it's like some of the stuff starts to shift out of the way, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Uh, you rolled a 5 on a d100. All right, hold on. Alrighty, you pull out what appears to be this small glass vial, and as you kind of look at it, it appears to have some kind of like black liquidy substance in it.
How much?
Kind of looks over at you and he says, "Is that?" And like he tries to squint towards your hand and goes, "Oh, is that a bottle of ink? Uh, 2 silver."
Okay. So he's hasn't entirely lost his boggles.
No, I got those over here. If you wanted that, you should have just asked for it. And he starts reaching through the pile again. Pulls out what appears to be like these two small, like jade-looking, like spheres, almost the same size as like those meditation orbs that you can rotate. Like about that size. He pulls out 2 of them, just kind of holds them in his hand.
What are those?
I don't really know, but they jingle. And he kind of shakes a little, and it sounds like there's like a little wind chime inside. See, I didn't lose my baubles.
Oh, I'll take them.
No, but then I'd lose my baubles.
No, you'd sell your baubles. Totally different.
Make a persuasion check. I can sell them to you for gold.
I'll take them.
Okay. He hands you over these two. They're actually made of jade, and they have like these depictions of like just various scrollings on there. It's very beautiful looking, and when you do shake them, they do have what appears to be like some kind of metal or something within it that kind of like emanates a small chiming sound.
Oh, pretty. I'm gonna add these to my list of instruments.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look back at Talum and be like, "Are you sure you have the right spot?"
He sells magic items. I don't understand what you want from me. You just don't want to pay for them.
I'm not gonna pay with 4 grand in gold for a used robe.
Okay, then buy the jock
No,
or the wand.
I can make one of
That's
those in
nice.
my sleep.
Well, you don't have one, do you?
I don't have a need for one.
It's pretty useful to me. He keeps telling us it's useful.
Go ahead and spend your money.
I don't have that many monies.
That's what I thought. What's your? I'm gonna look back at the shopkeeper and what's your least interesting item here?
He has to think really long and hard about this, because as he eventually tells you, uh, everything here is unique. There's only one of them, except for maybe that ladder. Now I might have two, but anyway, everything else in here is pretty unique. So it's all very interesting.
And what's your most expensive thing here?
I don't know. I haven't been through everything yet.
What does that mean?
A lot of stuff I find, I bring it home, and I have to find it again.
Okay. What's more expensive than the jug?
At this moment, I nothing until I find something else that is.
Man who doesn't keep track of his own inventory.
I have a list, and he points to the piece of parchment that he has.
Can I see this list?
No? Do you work here? Is this your store? I don't think so.
Are you hiring?
No! You won't even
Then how
purchase
can I
one
work
thing!
here?
You're no
Are you
help at all.
telling me that you are a proprietor who sells things, but you don't give your audience a menu? And you don't keep inventory? That's just bad economics, bro.
He begins to start, like, he pulls out like a quill or something and kind of like licks the tip of it and starts writing on that same piece of parchment.
He speaks for himself.
Well, I don't know what you want from me. You come into my home, you ask me for stuff, I showed you stuff, and now you don't want it. So what do you want?
Do you have any books? I like to read.
He does like to read.
He does. Hold on. I have a list for that. I had to find it. Because it is something you have not asked me for in a while.
Oh shit. You know I do need to ask him. Hey, I know I don't want to like compound you with stuff, but do you have anything that could make me fly?
Well, he is currently like digging through stuff, but he will. You hear him hollering like, "I'll check." Let me see here. I had a list of books and I can't find it. He does have a list of books and stuff. He would end up finding you like two books. You would see these like they're small. They definitely don't resemble like tomes or anything like that, but um, they appear to be some kind of novel or something. I have to get the list of the names for them when I find it. But
If they're not absurdly expensive, I'll just buy them.
oh, okay. It'll probably just run you maybe 3 gold for both of them,
Sure.
and I will get you that info as soon as I find it. But they're just at first glance you can immediately tell they're not magical in nature or anything like that.
Cool.
As far as flying goes, he does not find anything like that. But he does pull out a couple feathers. And he says, well, maybe if you get enough of these together, you can make a pair.
Quite what I'm looking for, but good effort.
But
How
huh.
about this? I'm gonna kind of try to get everyone to like do like a huddle. And, look around and do you have anything that shouldn't be here? Just kind of like that stick.
What are you talking about?
His wand of magic missile.
Uh huh.
No, with him included, that is.
I'm so confused.
I am too.
What are we
Oh,
talking
I'm-
about?
No, so I'm gonna try and get everyone close.
Is this
Like,
another
including
art
the shop.
gallery?
You just kind of whisper, like, is there anything else that you may have on hand? Just kind of like that stick you showed us.
You're trying to gather the proprietor plus your party together and whisper, does he have secret stuffs?
Correct.
I understand. He's about 10 or 15 feet away from you at the moment as he was digging through piles of shit.
No, yeah, well, yeah.
And
When
he's
you know,
not
when it's-
super
when time's
inclined.
available.
Right. He's not super
Yeah.
inclined to get closer to you because you're being a stubborn prick. Because he's
So-
literally like, what the fuck do you want?
Is this a disadvantage persuasion? Or... I mean,
Sure.
What is
I mean-
happening?
I will
he's-
leave it up to the dice.
Yeah, you can absolutely leave it up to the dice. The DC is just stupid. Go for it. Uh-huh. Yeah, he's like, look, you came to me, right? I have all this stuff here. I haven't had a chance to inventory it all. I apologize for that, sure. But you asked me for stuff. I showed you stuff, and now you try to rip me off. What do you want from me? If you're not here to buy the stuff I show ya, what good are ya? I got a shop to run. I got things to do downstairs. If you don't mind, I'd like to get back to that, please.
I will. What are you doing downstairs? I'm gonna start reaching for like my coin, to kind of compensate him for his time. And once he mentions he's doing stuff downstairs, I mean, he's kind of pause and like, what are you doing downstairs?
He kind of catches himself at the thought of that he said it
I
out
see.
loud.
I see you kind of have like a large glove. Is that, if I remember correctly? Like, what's going on downstairs?
He looks.
I too have a large. It's not a glove, but as you can see, it's a bit different than yours.
Are you comparing dick sizes with the dude?
Gauntlet sizes, I guess.
What the fuck? It's a leather glove. It's not a gauntlet. It's not made of metal
No,
or
I know,
anything.
yeah.
But yeah, but he kind of looks. He looks over at you. And he looks over at his glove, and then like the oh shit, I said that out loud kind of thing. Like he catches himself, and he's just like, well, that's none of your business. It's my home. I can do what I want with it.
Is it downstairs this way? And I point to like one side of the place.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say anything of the sort. You're imagining things. I think you
I will
lost your
start
baubles.
walking in that direction.
You're just gonna barge through his fucking house? Okay.
Hey, whoa.
Ezio, what are you doing?
Hey, look, Mister, we're sorry for being rude. Is it rude of us to just say next?
Is it rude of you guys? Who are you talking to, Ellis, about that?
No, I'm talking to I forgot his name.
The shopkeeper.
You're the shopkeeper. I'm just saying, like, you showed us some stuff, and that's stuff we declined. But you can keep showing us stuff, right? I mean, it's not rude of us to say next.
No, it's not at all. If you wanted me to show you stuff, that's all you had to say. But this one over here, and he's giving him a finger as Tizzy was trying to like weave through his stuff. Well, he's just being unsightly, and it's really inappropriate. He's coming into my house, and he doesn't want to pay for something, and then he's just trying to. He wants to walk out of here scot-free with stuff.
Tell you what, I've already bought something from you. I think these jade bells are super freaking cool. I'm gonna use them. Tell us what. Just show us 2 more things. Kind of similar to the other 3 things you've shown us. Nice and magic. The stick, the thing, the other, whatever it is. Show us 2 more things like that, and then we'll be out of your hair. We'll either buy 'em or we'll come back another day when we do want to buy 'em.
Make a persuasion check. He looks at you, and then he looks at Tizio again, and he says, "Sure, not a problem, but he has to go wait outside. I don't want him in my house anymore. Tell your friend to
I
leave."
I just wanted to see what you were up to downstairs.
That's
You know,
none
you
of your
know,
business.
You know,
It's my
you
house.
walking out.
So you walk outside?
Yeah,
Okay.
I will keep my word on that.
You made him extremely irate. Um, he begins now to actually like try to brush off some of this, like, as you kind of look at him, it looks like soot or something that's on his black leather apron. He kind of like shakes it off a little bit, and then starts wandering through the rest of the house a little bit, and eventually he comes across what appears to be this very ornate looking ring. Um, he holds it between his hands and he says, um, "This here, it I got it from a passerby who just had a unique interest in what I had going on here in the shop, and he gave it to me free of charge. Nice man. Don't know where he is these days, but he said he didn't want this anymore. Said it was a bit of a prank, but it's magical, he says." And then let me see here. Give me 1 second. Okay. And then the other thing he pulls out is what appears to be this brooch or something. It's a small golden brooch that like one would put in their hair. Um, and he says, "Well, this too. Well, if you ever have one of those days where you're just so tired of counting, well, if you wear this, then well, you won't have to worry about that anymore. It's like a relaxing exercise."
Tired
What?
of counting?
Yeah. I, I, if you, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just, if you spend all your days counting all that, money or treasure. I take it you guys are adventurers or something. What else are you wandering around the streets of Yartar for? But yeah, you ever get a headache from just counting too much? Well, you can just wear this for a little while, and all those headaches will go away.
I'm not gonna lie, I love pranks. Is there anything more you can tell me about the ring?
At that, he kind of whispers, like he gets close enough to you to kind of whisper, and he says, "It'd be really funny to have your friend over there," and he points towards Talum, "wear it."
Oh, man, now I'm interested. How much?
"For the ring? 'Cause I like you, and you got rid of that asshole? 2,000 gold."
Man, I love buying shit when I don't know what it does. So fun. I'll take it.
Okay. All right.
I hand him 2,000 gold.
Okay. Just go ahead and mark off an ornate ring for right now, and I will get you the actual stuff for it later.
Right on.
What does this helmet look like?
What helmet?
Can we get any more information? You said there was brooch. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is this thing?
It's exactly like I said. If you have really bad headaches, especially when you're counting stuff, this will make that go away.
I mean, I don't really have that problem.
Okay, well, I guess it's not for you then. But, you know, if you ever see somebody who is always stuck doing a lot of accounting work or keeping track of stuff, maybe you want to give them a little break, just have them put this on. Trust me, you'll appreciate it. Maybe they will too.
Well, I guess we're done here because nobody seems interested in buying anything.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
No, that's fine. I just didn't know if you heard me. Okay. Well, I mean, it's up to you if you want it or not. It'll be here if you come back.
How much does this mysterious brooch cost?
1,500 gold.
Not in the cards for me right now, but somebody else might want it.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys wanted to check?
I'm good.
Okay. So, as you all kind of work your way through the pile, just it's scraping on your legs and knees a little bit as you kind of like try to climb over these heaping mounds of shit. Um, Walheim bids you all a farewell and just kind of looks back to you, Ellis, and says, "I don't want that other one back in the house again." But you guys kind of make your way back outside, and immediately the door slams shut. The lights are turned off. You hear the clicking of several locks on the front door, and you guys are just kind of left standing there in the front of this guy's house, just like, what the fuck? But that's where we'll leave it for the night.
Nice, that was fun.
Oh yeah. So in short, Ellis, just so I can read this off to you, because if you spend some time with it, you'll essentially figure out what it is, or you can have Perry or somebody look at it if you're trying to keep it from Tizio, or from Talum. This is called a Ring of Bureaucratic Wizardry.
And dear Lord, what does it do?
So, when a wizard casts a spell while wearing the ring, a ream of papers and a quill pen suddenly appear in their hands. The papers are forms that must be filled out in triplicate, explaining the effects of the spell, why the wizard wishes to cast it, whether it's for business or pleasure, and so on. The forms must be filled out before the effects of the spell will occur. The higher the level of the spell, the more complicated the forms are. Filling out the forms requires 1 round per level of spell.
Can't even use it.
So just taxes, pretty much.
Just annoying shit.
Well,
Are there skill checks for the paperwork?
No, it causes you. It's like being slowed in casting a spell, but worse. So if you cast the first level spell, you have to spend 2 rounds to cast the spell because the first round was you filling out papers, and then the second round was casting the spell. It does not require attunement.
Is this For like any spell?
Yeah, any spell that's cast by a person, all this paperwork shows up, and they are magically compelled to fill out the paper.
Well, that was a waste of 2,000 gold.
I mean, it
What?
depends.
I
It
mean-
depends on the spell that you want to do, I guess. Some can be in combat, others may not.
This is
It's like
definitely
the
not a combat ring.
it's like the magic gambling vendor in Diablo
This-
2.
Is this like the supernova, like Final Fantasy VII, where it freaking takes like 10 turns to cast, like type of thing?
The overall thing about this, and especially when the guy got this is a ring to fuck with people.
Does it take effect as soon as you put it on?
Uh-huh.
Was this you spent how much on?
2,000.
I guess it's.
Do you understand the potential of this item if we somehow get it on a spellcaster that we're fighting?
Right?
Yeah, but how would we do that? If
Maybe convince them.
Yeah.
I can place.
I
I
can
can
think
I can
of
sleight of hand it onto their finger, but I don't know the exact like wording for everything. So
look,
I
man.
may
This is a what's his name? Nicolas Cage in National Treasure moment where you like
oh, let's say face off.
dip the coin in fucking liquid and then give it to the girl and then put blacklight on
Okay,
the
it's-
keyboard.
I don't remember the last
Oh.
time I saw that movie.
Anyway,
You cast enlarge on it, then you throw it over their neck.
some silly stupid shit. It's a crazy shop is what it is. But the robe and the
He
jug,
told
man.
you it was a prank item. Like he didn't say it was
I thought-
good.
I like the robe, but I just felt it just wasn't priced appropriately.
I mean, do you know everything that rope does?
Yeah, it's one of the things. If I remember correctly, it's one of the things I can replicate.
Sure.
So okay, I understand, Tizio, what you said.
What is that dumb brooch? I'm not gonna go buy it. I'm just curious.
So
Get
if
the
you
brooch of shielding.
no,
Dang it.
unfortunately, no. It's called a brooch of numbering or number numbing. Basically, if you wear this brooch, you forget numbers. Like, you forget 4 is 5, or 5 is more than 3, how currency exchange works, and other things. You literally just cannot, like, you become dyslexic, I guess. You can't count.
Give it to a shopkeep.
Or a water baron who is in charge of a city.
That's what I was thinking that
No, we're
you were
supposed to-
going for on that,
We're supposed to kill the water baron.
Yeah.
or make him go crazier.
We don't have to kill her.
Just fun little prank stuff. But, yeah, the robe of useful items is pretty nice, and so is the alchemy jug.
And so is a wand of magic missiles, but nobody was interested in any of it.
I know, man.
6K gold is so much.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sure,
but
sure.
it's a rare magic item. It's not cheap, man.
you know what's interesting?
There's
Though, like,
5
is
of
it
us. We
rare?
all have like 2,000.
I thought it was I thought it was like an uncommon item. But
Uh,
I guess it makes sense. That's rare.
you know what's interesting? Like all those items, I always feel like people gravitate to, but like for me personally, like I've never like seen an interest in those items.
You've never seen an interest in the wand stuff, or
The wand, the robe, like the robe is kind of interesting, but like I feel it kind of depends because I believe there's some stuff that depends on like what you roll or something like that, or it's up to the DM what's on it. And the same thing with like the jug, like it just never really like spoke to me whatsoever. But like obviously like the robe is probably like what has like kind of piqued my interest, but because some of the stuff, if I remember correctly, it's up to the DM to like say like this is what you get out of it. Like it kind of varies on that, but
well,
yeah, they just never spoke to me whatsoever. Like it never piqued my interest.
wands are great though. It's free casts.
I know, I know.
Doesn't require an attunement.
I know. It just, I don't know. I just never spoke to me.
hey, man. I mean, to each their own. But you're always welcome
Yeah.
to ask me out of character or whatever when we're not playing. But yeah. So magic items in general, you're right, Perry. It is an uncommon item, but still, the cost and time of creating these things is what ups the price. And shop owners up everything. So you're not gonna find like wands and
Oh
magic
no,
missiles for like
I'm not
600 points,
complaining.
stuff like that. But
I just can't see myself spending that much gold on it.
I mean, to when you have nothing else to do and your guy's ranged, you have a free action to shoot
Oh
unblockable
yeah.
damage to him. So it has its benefits. But great game, everybody. Sorry we went a little longer than normal.
No worries. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, he really slipped up telling you about his basement.
Ah, and I'm the only one that caught it.
Uh huh. Oh well, he kicked you out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sneak into his basement later.
Should totally
Yeah,
do that.
well, I expected him to go that route, so it was fine.
Anyway, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thanks
Have
for
a good night,
playing,
guys.
everybody.